Welcome to another episode of D&D. Uh, hope everybody's doing pretty good. We're missing a couple of people this evening, so our gameplay is going to be a little bit different. Now, when I say that, I don't mean... Well, you'll see. I am not 100% sure what is going on right now.
Top 10 things you want to do.
Things are weird.
I'm not
So,
100% sure what's going
a
on.
door opens above your head, and a gelatinous cube falls.
It was a good game.
Right? Okay. So essentially, last time that we left off, right, everybody had reconvened kind of back in the shop. You guys made a couple of purchases and then moved from the Stoneflyer Venturing Gear shop, which is a family-owned business of Ricard Bethrell's family, run by some friends of theirs. And so that's where you guys were reconvened at, and then you went back to Atlas's home. After arriving back at Atlas's home, you guys had some discussion with his parents for a little bit, and he decides to go up into his room where he discovers a new pair of arms made specifically for his character by the one Ulfney Coburn. So as you guys are like standing in the room,
He
and
I tried to let him punch me, right?
right,
Which
yeah,
he
and
did not succeed at.
He did not. So if you remember, in the center of the room, there is this circular scorch mark that exists from the center of the room and kind of permeates out in like this 4-foot circle. On either side of the circle, directly across from each other, these two little copper, like brass fixtures, and they have these sapphire-esque, I guess is the word I'm looking for, crystals inside of them, with this kind of green electricity kind of pulsing up and down through the brass workings. So as you guys are kind of standing there, Atlas is trying out his new arms, kind of giving them a feel, a go, when suddenly crackling begins to happen. As you look around the room, you guys note that the amount of electricity pulsing from these two little devices has increased significantly, and continues to do so. And as you guys are watching, these little electrical jolts kind of jump off of each one of these devices, hits into the center of where this sphere or where this scorch mark is on the ground, and the frequency at which this is happening begins to increase significantly. So more and more, there are these little, jumping off into the center, and so much so that it almost forms like a cloud of electricity, right?
DM, is this arcane in nature? Do I recognize what's going on, or do we need to flee the room?
You can certainly make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Also,
Appreciate that.
Arcana check and Perception check for anybody who would like to.
Love to
By the way, guys, I might mute myself periodically. For those of you watching, I've got sniffles. Bum, bum,
I will
bum.
not. Oh, wait. My shield glows. Oh, cool.
Arcana or what? I'm sorry.
Perception check and Arcana, if you so desire to.
18.
Anyway, so I might mute my mic periodically so I can sniffle.
1 second, I'm having an issue with my character sheet. I have to leave the game and come right back.
Uh-oh.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Issue with the character sheet?
Yeah, it was coming up blank. Like it had my looked normal to start with, and then it wouldn't let me change pages.
I wonder if that was because of all of the stuff I just loaded in, because apparently I loaded in tons of stuff.
There we go. Now it's up. Okay. I'll do my
There's no map on
Arcana
the
check
screen, right?
first.
Oh,
No map.
are we supposed to be seeing a map right now, or no?
No, negative.
We're seeing white. Okay.
My Arcana check is a 15, and then a Perception check is a 6. Oh, I did have my Pseudo Dragon out.
Yeah, you can make a roll with your
I'll let
Hooded
her.
Dragon as well.
13.
All right. Cool. So we get a couple of rolls going. That's neat. They've definitely made some updates to Roll20, guys, like for sure.
Ah.
Yes. They
They
were looking at a white map. By the way, for those of you on Twitch, they were looking at a white map on Roll20, and it just went dark.
Yeah, they saw it.
Oh, they saw it. Okay, good, cool. All right. So Ricard, with your 15 Arcana check, and rolling with your 18 Perception. So Ricard, what you notice, this magic is indicative of Ulfni. And though in what instance specifically you're not 100% sure, but you definitely know this is almost similar to some of the magic that you've seen Atlas kind of emit or protrude or whatever, or at least in the same fashion.
Okay.
Now, Roland, as you're watching this kind of begin to occur or whatever, it's building up, and you begin to recognize that in and among all of the twisting little bolts of green electricity that are kind of flowing into the center of this sphere between these two devices, there begins to form a silhouette, and you begin to recognize that this silhouette is one of Ulfni himself. When suddenly there is a massive flash, and you guys find yourself in darkness, just absolute darkness. So I know I had you guys just make a perception check, but go ahead and make a perception check again for me, each one of you.
Shouldn't I be able to see a little bit? Just a tiny bit.
You would think that,
Oh, yeah, okay.
but you don't.
There's one for me and my Pseudo Dragon.
Okay.
What the hell did I just do?
I've got a 12. Pseudo Dragon has a 6.
Okay.
11.
All right. So where it's very hard to tell, what you're beginning to feel right now is different. So the floor has a different feeling to it. It almost feels like something you've not been standing on. Like this is not the same as what you were just standing on. It's almost as if you've been transposed in some form or fashion, moved, transposed, what have you. So that being said, the air has dropped by a few degrees, and it is very echoey in here, very echoey. Yeah, just like that.
If I
you guys
summon
heard
a firebolt in my hand, cantrip, and ready it,
Sure.
my hand should like there should be a flame in my hand.
Right.
Does it illuminate anything?
Barely. There's a very barely, a very small amount of illumination. And one of the things that you kind of get the sense of.
Cast guidance on myself.
Sorry, guys, a couple sneezes there. So what you get the sense of, or whatever, is that there is a magical darkness that exists in the place that you are now, wherever this place is. Okay, so Scodrick just cast guidance on himself.
Is it also, if I want to say Roland, Scodrick, Atlas, everybody, are you all here? Do I hear any sound coming out my mouth?
Yes, you do hear sound. It is an echoey, very echoey sound. So as you produce this flame or whatever, it only allows you to see just a few feet in each direction. And you see the silhouettes of some of your companions or whatever, but you also note that you are standing in the corner of seemingly what appears to be a very small room.
So is this a different room than we were
It
just
is
in?
definitely different.
Okay.
It is definitely different. So let me remember how to do this, because we had not used this for a while. Oh. Yeah, there we go.
Do I see Ricard? With his
Yes, you do.
walk up to him, I'll go ahead and you have a rapier at your
I do. I have,
I'm gonna-
I have one on
Right.
each.
Cool. I'm gonna touch one of them and give him a +1. I don't divinity.
Which one are you touching? The one on my right or the one on my left?
Am I on his right or on his left?
Oh wait, no, yeah, they're two different sides.
Give me 1 second.
Scottish, that's his penis.
Eh.
At least it's not my rock-like bulbs. You know,
Did I
that's
put the right?
personal.
Did I put the right token out there? Ricardo, I think I put the
card.
wrong token out there.
This is old.
That's the old one. I mean,
Sure,
you
yeah.
know, it's okay. There's a stranger amongst us.
So I'm on his left. I touch his left one.
Okay.
Oh.
His left testicle. Why are you touching his testicle?
Cool. Yep. This can get
Ricardo, I'm gonna
any...
try and find your. I don't know why it loaded in your old one.
Me neither.
Do you see your good one on your character page, like the new one?
Let's see. No.
So what has happened here?
Under my bio and info is my old character picture. Wah!
Very strange. Technical difficulties.
Did anyone touch... Oh, well, no, I wasn't. I touched a stone, but I wasn't there.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everybody okay? Everybody got 10 digits?
You have 10 digits.
Yes.
I don't know.
10 fingers, 10 toes. Yep.
Do Dragonborns have
Nothing
the
missing.
same amount of digits as
How long have we
humanoids?
known each other?
Yeah.
I'm just,
Ricardo,
this is out of character question. I
Oh.
don't know.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
It'd be much more entertaining in character, though.
I knew you had toes. Such you had like little.
We're not talking about those.
Are you talking about your hands?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, he said toes. I heard toes. That's why I was like, I knew you had the same. I know you have a
You have a torch? You have a torch?
cloaca and all that. Me?
Oh.
Do I have a torch?
I have a torch.
Okay, cool.
I pull out my torch.
I'm going to use prestidigitation to light his torch.
Aha!
You guys are just touching each other like crazy over there.
I
You know
didn't have
what?
to touch him. I can
touching
do
each
it from
other's
range.
stuff.
All right.
You have a lot of
How am I insecure? It has nothing to do with me. What are you talking about? Just asking. I'm noticing things. I mean, you guys are talking a lot more. You're doing a lot of things together. I'm just trying to, help you guys.
Yeah.
You know,
just lit a torch and you just took it a completely different
I'm
direction.
saying I
That's
have
cool.
averted
That's
mind.
fine.
It's fine. I have
Fine.
definitely.
It's fine.
I'm gonna press the digitation to make the image of like two testicle-shaped things hanging from underneath the torch.
Oh no.
Feel better now? You feel better now, Roland?
I'm laughing. So I don't care.
Now, what kind of shit are we in?
Do we see a door? Am I against a wall? Can I
Okay, so
slowly reach out and feel?
yeah, absolutely. So as you begin to illuminate the various things or whatever, it adds a little more and a little more light, sheds a little more light on the circumstances. And you're standing in a very small room. Essentially, it's a 16 by 16. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a 16 by 16. Those are 5-foot squares. Yeah, it's a
I
20
mean, it
by
could be
20.
16 by 16 or whatever you want.
Give or take a foot.
It's a 20 by 20 room with a single door on the side, but you do see next to the door there is a cog.
Wait, is somebody missing from this? You said I saw my companions. Who is here?
Only Roland and Skodrick.
I'm like,
Atlas,
Atlas and
yeah.
Kidron are gone.
Atlas and Kidron are gone. Bologna is also gone.
Y'all, we lost Atlas, Kidron, and Bologna.
Right now, I think that's the least of our worries. I don't know where we are.
Hopefully, they're not split off somewhere else. So that door is the only thing we see in the room.
Yes, that door, and then to the left of the door on the wall, probably in 2 foot from the bottom of it to the top of it, there is what appears to be like this cog type wheel that is mounted vertically and protrudes from the wall. So it is sticking out of the wall into this slot or whatever. And it's to the left of the door. And that's what you see.
All right, so I'll slowly walk up next to Roland and kind of look at him and Skodrick. I guess we should leave.
Sure. Where are we leaving to?
We're gonna find out in a moment, I suppose. And I'm gonna.
Of course.
Anything else in this?
No, it is completely empty aside from those.
As I start walking, I'm gonna start walking a pathway towards a door. Can I keep a close eye on the ground and make sure I don't see anything that looks like a pressure plate or a stone that's been set to trip or anything like that? No wires, nothing like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah, you
just
can do
roll
that.
a investigation
Sure, that's fine.
or perception.
You can
Investigation.
roll investigation is fine.
Okay.
So as
You
you
don't
guys
hear
are looking
anything like-
around too, you note that the light, as it's kind of flickering in the room or whatever, there are stone walls. This room is only about 10 feet high. The stone walls have like a damp, mossy texture. They are not masoned walls. They appear to be stacked stone. So it is stacked stonework that has been mortared together, essentially, in some form or fashion. Okay, so as you're watching, Ricard, you're moving along or whatever.
Yep, I got a 9 investigation.
Okay. There don't appear to be any kind of pressure plates or anything in this room. It is just the two. From what you're seeing, there are no abnormal like protrusions or anything that kind of stick out from the pattern of the rest of the room.
Okay. So when I get up to that door, there were cogs and was there a lever? Does it look like there's a way to open the door?
So there's one single cog to the left of the door, and it's large. It's about two foot vertically, and it is probably 4 inches wide. And it's a fairly large. It's a fairly large cog. The end of it is kind of protruding out from the wall, but you can't really see the rest of it receded into the wall. And then there's just the door. Now
Door
the
have
door doesn't have any kind of locking mechanism on it or anything.
no handle,
it-
no nothing.
It's got one handle that you can pull on, but other than that, there doesn't seem to be any kind of way to fasten the door closed, at least from this side.
Do we hear anything like
Yeah.
outside of this room? Maybe from
At the moment, you don't.
Yeah, I wanted
smell
to
anything?
like put my ear up to the door.
Okay, no, it's
Smell like
complete silence coming from the door.
does it smell like decomposition or something burning or
You don't smell anything burning.
okay?
There is definitely that like damp type basement smell, like mildew.
Hmm.
Um, so, um,
I'll try to rotate the cog.
okay.
Can I'm gonna check the door handle first, see if anything looks like it's trapped there.
Okay.
Like, Roland, you think you could give me a hand? Maybe we check this door to make sure it's not trapped or something. I can't move
Sure.
halfway of the door.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
what I'm trying
just
to do.
doing it. Oh, me and Scotch are on the
We
same
can all
spot.
snuggle around the door.
I
Mhm.
is it investigation just to check the door, DM?
Yeah, go for it. You can make one as
Okay.
well, or
I
cards.
got I got a 6.
18.
All right. So, Roland, as you kind of tell, or as you're looking across the door, you see there around the seam of the door, there's no light shining through or anything like that. You don't see any tripwires or anything. There isn't any evidence of there being a trap existing here or anything of that nature. It just appears to be your basic wood door. Um, and it's just, it's held with hinges. Um, Fastened on the left side, so it swings from the right towards you uh, and opens to the left. Now the cog being on the wall here, right to your left. So if the cog's on your left, remember the door swings this way. It swings towards the cog essentially, and that's how it opens. But you don't recognize any kind of trap mechanisms or anything.
So
No.
before we open this door, well, what's that?
I was just saying no physical traps. I mean, I don't know if you want to check for anything magical shenanigans, but
I'll
I
do
don't
a Arcana
know.
check if that's all right, DM.
Yeah, go for it.
It's 19 Arcana.
Okay. So there isn't any magic coming from the door itself, but you definitely get the sense this is a magical darkness in this place, and there are a lot of other magics at work. Um, there is definitely something going on here.
Like, all right, so whatever we're in right now is some sort of magical darkness. It's not like the darkness spell, or we wouldn't be able to see anything. But it's something. And
Hmm.
all right, so the question I have to pose to y'all two is, first off, how much do we trust Alfney? If we walk out this door and see him, do we draw swords?
I wouldn't.
If we're caught in a trap, do we assume that it was his doing?
I'm more of a, on a
He could have ruined
observe and
Atlas's life by now if he.
yeah, I would have just observe and then see what happens and then act. I mean, I'm definitely something that tries to attack us, kill it quickly, but
I mean,
it's
yeah,
an
he could
Opie.
have.
I'm not gonna assume without any kind of provocation that he's against us suddenly. It just seems a bit weird, especially in Atlas's body. That seems a bit
Yeah, but he could just be using Atlas as a guinea pig.
entirely possible.
Not that I really think he's against us. I can't put that possibility out of my mind. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Atlas trusted him in his room with his family. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but
given what I've seen at this point, it seems like Offney isn't. He's not the perfect tinkerer. He seems like he's
okay.
made a couple of mistakes.
And I guess
Yeah.
we
Had
just
some
experienced one of
experiments.
them.
So I mean, that could be what this is. But
Let's hope so. I'm gonna try and with everybody else in the group being kind of confident that Ulfney wouldn't do anything bad to us
Yeah.
purposefully. I'm gonna try to check the door handle.
Okay. So it is not latched. It is not locked. As you pull the door handle, the door begins to swing to you very easily.
Okay. Very cautiously and carefully, I'm gonna open the door.
Okay. So as you open the door, there is on the other side just more stonework. Now, as you're looking at it, whatever. So essentially, you open the door. As you open the door, it's just like more stone wall. So it seems like an extension of the stone wall that of the room that you guys are in. But the thing that you note that is different about the stone wall that is behind the door is that it is incredibly flat. So it still looks like stacked stone, um, but it has been smoothed out. So the entirety of what you're seeing is uniform all the way up and down. As you're looking, you see that there is just on the other side of the door frame, essentially that is up against this portion of wall. There is a seam that goes all the way around the door frame. Now this is on the opposite side of the door frame, essentially up against the wall, right? So
Yeah.
you see a seam all the way around.
All right. Well, obviously this door looks like it's sealed with a some sort of stonework barrier. Maybe that cog would help us raise it.
And that nerd and try to rotate the cog.
Okay, so as you try to rotate the cog, you're pulling and pushing. Make a strength check for me first.
You consider this ability check?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 3, and that one.
So you can't budge the cog at all.
Roland, you want to give him a hand, and I'll try
I
and
mean,
lean into this door from this side.
Skadrick, you all right? You throw your back out or something, man? What's happening?
Really wasn't
He just
expecting moving a cog today. Pretty
Oh,
slippery.
okay. I can assist you, I guess. I'll DM. Is that just another
We have any
strength check
tools?
to help him, or do I need to use something else? Or
It's just a strength check. I mean, if you want to like pull your tools out, I mean, as you're looking at the cog or whatever, there isn't really anything that you could reach from here.
gotcha. All right.
Make another investigation check on the door, though. Somebody.
I'm gonna pull out a candle. I've got candles. I'm gonna pull out one of those and light it, so I've got some light where I'm standing and not just leaving that spell in my hand. And do an investigation check on the door further.
So as you're,
let's see, we've got a 11 investigation check.
That's not bad. So it's not terribly difficult to see as you're looking at the door, checking it out, whatever you see on the left side of the door frame behind where the door has kind of like swung out to you. There is protruding from the door frame this wooden cylinder, and it's sticking out probably 2 inches. And it has the appearance of something that would be depressed if the door were closed.
I'm going to push the button.
Okay. So as you push a button, essentially, so Ricard, you're standing there. As you push the button, Roland and Skadrick, you guys are over there fiddling with the cog, trying to move it, pushing, pulling, et cetera, checking it out. Ricard, as soon as you push that button, that cog releases.
Oh, watch out.
So as that cog releases, I need each of you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Okay.
great. 14.
18. Highest roll of the night.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw.
For me.
Boop. I got a 21.
Okay. So with a sudden jolt, the wall that is up against the other side of the door frame begins to move. Roland and Skodrick, as you guys had pulled the cog, you heard a click happen, essentially. So the wall begins to move and it's sliding. So there's this loud rumble that begins to fill the room. This loud rumble fills the room. You see the wall on the other side of the doorframe sliding, and it slides for quite a bit of time, for a good bit of time. So you guys all manage to stay on your feet as this jolt of movement happens. So it slides for a while and then begins to slow. And it slows. And as it slows, you see the wood of a second door frame slide to a stop behind the door frame that you're standing at, Ricard. So now there is a second door.
Behind the door frame. Like in.
So like you've got the door swung open, you're looking through because it swings open towards you. There's the door frame of the door that you have swung open, then the wall that slid across.
Could
And now
you just paint the map where it's at exactly?
Oh yeah, it's right here.
That would have there. Okay, so it's literally right there. Okay.
Yeah, it's right there. So it slides and basically lines up directly with the door frame that you're there, that you're standing in.
It's like an elevator or like a
I'm gonna keep the button held in. Did I release the button and it kept going, or I'm gonna keep the button held in?
Okay.
And check. Did the next door have a handle on it, or did the button like push itself back out or something weird?
No, as long as you keep the button held in, there are no other changes.
Okay.
Everybody make an intelligence check.
Oh, goody. 2.
Highest.
I got a 6.
Jesus.
With a -1.
We have had way too much bread this morning, and it's clouding those.
I don't think I ate any bread.
Gluten is clouding up our brain.
Oh,
you drank the
blew up the bar.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so you guys don't really tell that there's any association between the button push itself and the movement of the room.
But okay, I was asking, did the room just move? This is like, I guess I'm asking everyone.
It was just the wall where the door was, right?
Well, the feeling that you guys had, that jolt of movement, was the entire
flipping room.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's like a Wonkavator.
Yeah, we're now stuck in the cube.
Oh God!
Yes. I love that movie.
Just remember, 3 over, 1 to the right.
Yep.
Or 3 straight, 1 to the right. Fuck, we're screwed now.
Oh God, we're dead. Anyway,
so I'm gonna check the next door if it's got a handle.
Okay. So the next door on this side of you is just flat wood. It's just one big piece of wood. There's no handle. There's no. You don't see any hinges either.
Does the cog? There's another door that showed up here when everything slid. Does that cog move now, y'all?
Are you still holding the button in?
Yes.
Okay.
Still holding the button.
I give it a pull, I guess.
Okay. So as you pull it, there's a slight resistance at first, but then it releases again, and you hear a second click, almost as if the cog has just dropped down another notch. When you do it,
Did I mishear what you just said?
No, he fixed it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
what is that?
It sounded like you said cock for a second.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
what? I was like, what?
One's 5, by the way, guys.
PG-13. PG-13.
What,
So
what kind of rule we in again? What's
so the
happening?
cock drops down another click, and
Okay, cool. I'm sorry.
So when that happens, a little more. So you guys make a second dexterity saving throw, but this time with advantage because you guys are kind of halfway expecting maybe something to happen.
True with a nat 20,
Got an 18.
At 20.
21, and a
Well,
23.
Ballin'. Okay, so the room then begins to slide. Now, as you're experiencing this, whatever the room essentially, if you're staring at the wall, Ricard, whilst or staring at this new door, this essentially that has appeared, it then begins to disappear to the right. It's almost as if the room is sliding to the left.
Is that the way it slid the first time? Is to the left?
Yes, it is.
Oh, fuck.
So it slides. The doorway that you are staring at then disappears, and the wall slides along the door that you're standing at, and the room slides for a bit, and then the wall begins to slow and stops, aligning with a second door frame.
Does this one have a handle?
It is also just seemingly a flat piece of wood with no handle, no hinges that you can tell.
It doesn't push open?
Well, you haven't tried pushing it.
Now I'm going to push it.
So as you push it, it
With mage hand.
Okay. It very easily swings open.
Well, shit. Maybe I should have tried pushing the first one, y'all.
Door number
Well,
2.
We'll never know what great changes might have been.
Door number 1. Oh, Jesus.
So there's like this little wall, obviously separating these two rooms, right?
There's still magical darkness of some type.
This room is slightly brighter than the one that you're in. A slight cyan illumination pulses from these little mushroom-looking nodules that grow and permeate throughout and across the floor. As you're looking into this room, the floor almost seems carpeted with some sort of moss and or fungal growth. And these little fungi that you're looking at have this cyan colored illumination. You see this moss. It exists all the way across the floor, so nearly the entirety of the floor is covered in it. And the walls kind of have a cyan colored reflection that are glistening off of portions of the stone in this room.
So I'm gonna, if DM, if I can, use mage hand to keep the button pressed.
Okay.
Sure. It can hold 5 pounds of pressure, so I would assume it should be able to poke that much.
Oh yeah.
5 pounds of weight, so I assume it'd be able to do that.
Yeah.
I go, y'all come check this out, and then I would like to roll a nature and an arcana check, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Arcana is 17, nature is 16.
Okay. So as you're kind of looking through whatever this particular moss / fungal growth, you've seen some species similar to it in the past. You note that it generally only grows in the Underdark. So what you've seen of it, were essentially samples that were brought up for testing and or something of that nature. The the fungi that you see growing in and among the moss is a fungi that you know has the potential to release spores into the air.
They paralyze, poison.
That's something you're not 100%
Not
sure
sure.
of.
Okay.
Do you tell us about?
Yes,
Okay,
tell you everything that he just said. So
okay. DM,
I,
would I have any recollection, given my history, about anything like this? Can I roll
Yes,
intelligence?
actually,
Okay.
absolutely. So as he mentions this to you or whatever, and he kind of points out and steps aside so you can look through the doorway. As you look through the doorway into this other room, you immediately understand what this type of moss is.
Ah,
It's a moss that allows the growth for a specific fungi, and this fungi essentially, as you move through, in, around, or on top of, will release this spore. The spore hangs in the air until making contact with something and will then stick to whatever it has made contact with. Right. So essentially, it has the potential to coat your clothing, boots, etc., in this fungal powder, essentially. And if it gets on your skin, it's poisonous.
hmm. Uh, maybe go back to door number one if possible.
Why? What is
Uh,
it?
it's just bad time. Just a really, really bad time. Just you remember you like just you know what poison ivy is, right? Like that, just like 10 times worse. Huh.
Roll and make a history check real
Oh
quick.
God, history. Okay.
And then, Ricard, if you're still standing
7.
there at the door, make a perception check for me.
okay.
Oh jeez. Oh God.
Okay.
Got a 10 on
I
perception.
love these rolls tonight.
So,
David, did you switch roles with us tonight? Is that what you did?
I guess so.
Okay.
This is payback, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Too bad it's on a side quest and not the main campaign.
Oh, yeah, you
Anyway,
should get this done.
so Ricard, as you're standing there, you see a shadow pass in one of the far corners of the room. Though not enough to tell what it is. And you see it pass for a moment, but then as you look and try to like single out or focus on whatever it was, um, it all just looks like moss. It all just looks like fungus, moss overgrown with fungus, essentially. Um,
Could I prestidigitation an image of well, let me check something before I do that. Hold on.
sure. Now, Roland,
Action. Okay.
it's almost like one of those things like where you're trying to remember a word and it's at the tip of your tongue, but you can't quite say it. There was something that you recall, um, but not in its entirety. Some sort of creature or something that typically likes to make its home in among this type of moss.
Uh,
And you recall it being fairly dangerous.
So I'm gonna prestidigitation the image of like a flaming skull just
Okay.
floating out into the room, into the middle.
Okay.
Ricard, did you let us know that there was something in there?
And I'm gonna say, I think I saw something in the corner of the room. I'm trying to lower it
Uh,
out to see what it is.
gonna maybe suggest we get the fuck out of here. I mean, is there a way to go back a door? Can we want to try doing that
Roll
maybe, or
the cog the other way.
yeah, maybe try that, or Skodrick, you think?
Go ahead. I'm just curious.
I mean, you have your wand on you, right? I mean,
Wand in my left hand now.
if you're feeling
Okay.
like unsafe,
Um,
so feel free to just toss one of those in there.
so
But
as the skull floats through, you do see a shift in the moss, um, almost as if something is you don't really get the image of legs. Like it's not a bipedal. Um, it's not even a quadrupedal. I guess that's the right word. Um, almost an insect-like, coated in moss, something that shifts from where it is over to the other corner in an attempt to move away from this skull.
Skull's going towards it.
All right, guys. It was nice playing you now. See you later.
Um,
I see it. It's in the corner, y'all.
so
Okay.
as you move the skull towards it, you begin to hear this really high-pitched, almost like letting the air out of a rubber balloon by pulling the
Like, wee.
nozzle tightly. Yeah. But so think of that, but like a couple octaves higher. If you guys have ever boiled lobster before, you would know the sound that boiling
A
lobster
screaming
makes.
lobster.
Yeah.
I look at Roland. I go, is it dangerous?
Do I actually see like an outline or something of it at this point?
Yeah, so as the skull gets into the corner where it is, this thing rears back on a set of legs that it seems to have many of, and essentially snaps at the skull, and then skitters back across to the other side of the room.
I look at Skodrick. I'm like, Skodrick, spin the wheel.
Hunter's mark on that
And
real fast.
and then I'm going to launch fireball at it.
Okay.
Okay, now as this is happening, okay, do I know what this thing is now, or like
Um,
seeing it, or do I need to just?
And do
so
I know what it is? That's the other question.
y'all make a nature check. Make a nature.
Make
Nature
another
check.
one.
Yeah. Mhm.
Let's see. Good luck. Good luck.
Oh,
I
18.
got a 21 nature.
Oh wow. Okay. So something that you guys have heard of before is a shambling mound. This is not that, but what you guys know is that there's this one specific type of insect that typically beds in this mossy type, this moss that has this fungal growth or whatever, and essentially exists within the same family, the same genus, I guess, if you want to call it that.
You said it was what exactly? The first thing?
It's
Shambling mound.
Shambling
yeah,
mound.
shambling mound. So you guys know what a shambling mound is?
Are those things normally aggressive? We know that.
Yes. I mean, would I know that?
Or evil or
Yeah.
something?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So imagine like this super powered swamp thing.
So think of
Okay, sure.
like if a giant centipede and a shambling mound had an illegitimate love child.
Oh
That
fuck.
sounds awful.
After
I was trying to
hearing
find the
after
page.
hearing the description, like
Okay. So are you going up or down on the cog?
I'm gonna go back to door number 1. I'm going up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you launching that fireball, bro?
I'm like, I kind of look over at you, Roland. Should I
I'm
just
just
leave
gonna.
it alone?
I mean, does it seem aggressive to him?
It just
Sorry, it
I
seems
know
like
it's
they're
not
not
going.
back.
towards us.
Y'all
And I
would
don't know if
know
rearing
that
back means aggression or not.
if y'all would know that it is a situation where if you come within a certain distance of it, it'll definitely attack you.
Okay.
But it's generally one of those situations where it's like you have your space, I have my space. I'm going to go over here, you stay over there, and we'll be fine.
Okay. Have a
So
nice day.
I'll leave it alone. I'm gonna put the wand back away.
Okay. Couldn't find what page that was on. Okay, so the wall slides back from the right to the left.
Oh, and I'm
Would
gonna
you-
like pull the door back to a little bit, and then just take a dagger and make a mark on it as we go sliding all the way out of view. Is that possible to pull the door back too?
Yeah.
Okay, and then just dagger, just 2 slashes across it,
Okay.
just to mark
Cool.
the door.
Okay. All right. So your first doorway is then revealed.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Once it-
push the doorway, push the
Okay.
door.
So you push the doorway or whatever. Make a perception check.
Okay, I'm gonna have my pseudo dragon like peeking over my shoulder, looking too.
Sure.
I got a 10. Pseudo dragon got a 12. Wow, these rolls! Holy fuck, y'all! Like it's completely random shit like nature. I roll a 21.
Okay. Um, so as you're looking, you look into the center of the room, and this room is about the same size as what you guys are standing in. Very similar in build and shape, etc., with the exception that uh, there are wall sconces. So this wall is much more brightly lit, and there is a fountain, a water fountain in the center. So orange light, orange and red light fill the room. It permeates into the room that you're standing in. This light is flickering off of the walls. The stonework in this room is a little more fancy. It's a little more decorative, um, and there is the fountain towards the center of the room. Now I've got it a little offset here because I didn't think to do that. Um, and the fountain is pretty large. It's a pretty large fountain. Now, the other addition that you see to this room that you hadn't seen before was the presence of dilapidated skeletons. There are a number of skeletons in this room, all kind of strewn in the floor.
Well, it's Openy's little house of horrors, apparently.
What do
Who said
you
they
what
didn't
do you
die of
see in
thirst?
there, Roland?
What'd you say,
I
Ricardo?
just see skeletons scattered everywhere, and there's no doors, DM.
Nope.
I don't see any doorways. It's just skeletons scattered everywhere. That doesn't look like a good place to go. Do you see anything?
DM and roll a perception.
Perception, yeah.
I'll
Scott
take a
Revere as
look.
well. So
21.
cool. Roland, you having some trouble rolling your.
Yeah, I had a pop up for an update on mine. Yeah,
Oh, gross.
yeah.
Lit.
17.
Okay, so as you guys are looking at it, what you note is the skeletons that are lying in the floor. And there's fragments of bone here and there. There are a couple that um, that are kind of wonky, but the general positioning of these skeletons seems to be in a large circle around the fountain. And they're all standing, or not standing, but they're all lying in the floor, essentially facing, or appear to be, or have been facing the same direction.
Hmm.
There are a couple of skeletons that look like they were facing the fountain, perhaps, and fell forward, and so like the skeleton is kind of propped up, with its back arched up against the fountain. There are a couple of skeletons that appear that they had fallen backwards. Lying on the floor that way. So essentially, that's the gist of what you get, kind of checking it out from the doorway.
Kind of feel like we shouldn't drink from that fountain.
At least we know they didn't die of thirst.
They died of something, though.
Could be poison.
Bottle it.
I mean, I'm really not too anxious to go in any of these rooms so far. But if
Because there's
Scodrick,
no
if
way
you
through
want to,
here.
yeah, Scodrick, if you want to go in there and
Um,
scoop up some, I mean, I'm sure Ric- Ricard and I will not stop you.
Does anybody have a vial? I'm
I
sure I've got one
do.
on me somewhere. Empty vial? Anybody?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys had a couple empty files.
Yeah, I've got a large list of items in my bag of holding.
Hey, Scodrick,
I do have an empty bottle.
Do the skeletons have like clothes and everything on, or they look like they're naked?
So as you're kind of looking, all of the skeletons appeared to have some sort of clothing,
Okay,
but the clothing has begun to rot.
gotcha.
hey, Scodrick,
What's up, man?
you got your spells, right?
Yeah, what's going on?
Can't you just like send Ophni a message and ask him where the fuck we are?
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah. Okay. You know what?
Okay, it's like, why did we do that?
In the meantime, I'm gonna make a prestidigitation a little image of a cat.
Hmm.
Have the cat
Okay.
bebop out
Uh,
across into the room,
okay.
Casting.
and then just jump up on the fountain edge. Does anything happen?
Nope. Nothing happens.
Okay.
So
Pretty
what are you
much,
going to say to Alfney exactly?
pretty much stating, in Atlas's room, teleporter went off. Ended up pitch black, small room with some gears and some strange. Well, the cog and the door. Not much else in here. You know about this location?
And he says, seems something went wrong
Hmm.
again.
Hmm.
I do not know where you are.
Cool. Good news, guys.
Oh, really? What did you say?
It's not good news. He doesn't know
Okay.
anything about this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Can I insight it just to see if this is something I would do?
Yeah, for sure. You can roll an insight check, see if
Wait, I did roll guidance. I did.
you did. You did use
It could
guidance.
be up. It could be a 12.
It could be a 12. Do you really want to waste guidance? Okay.
It's 10.
There we go.
I mean, it's a
Um,
cantrip. It's not waste.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So essentially, the sound in the voice of Ulfney that is sent back to you is one of slight panic, but it's more so like you get the sense that it is more so panic of like, oh my god, I don't know what has just happened.
Things you want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed like a slight panic. That is.
That's great to hear.
Mhm.
Okay. So we're all of the same mind of not drinking the water, correct?
I'm
Yep.
gonna. I will get. I got an empty bottle.
Well, I'm gonna take over pressing the button and hold
Okay.
up my mage hand to take the bottle.
And I hand his mage hand the bottle.
Okay.
Beep, and it goes out there and fills it.
Okay.
And brings it back.
I
Right.
don't
Oh,
touch it when he brings it back. I'm gonna try to wrap whatever cloth I have.
you like cork the bottle and
Yeah.
um. Okay. Do you want to like check out the water itself, or go ahead, Ricard?
I did want to like examine the bottle with an Arcana check, like examine the liquid.
Okay.
Maybe hold my candle up behind it so I could see through it real well. And
Yeah. It is so everything that you
13 Arcana.
check. Okay. There seems to be no magic whatsoever permeating from the liquid. It is clear. Basically, all the evidence that you get from checking it out, looking at it, trying to figure out what it might be, point to just plain water.
Okay.
They just got locked in here.
Could I take a quick restroom break? And I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricardo, go pee in
go
the
for it.
corner, man. It's
Yep,
fine.
I'm gonna go pee in the corner. Not in the other room.
just making sure.
Do we all want to break real quick?
Sure,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's
a good
about
break,
it's about
sure.
11. It can.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break, guys. Yeah.
All right. Be
We'll
right
be
back.
in just a moment. Yeah.
Hello.
I think that's probably the quickest break we've taken.
Look at there.
Uh-huh.
Quick and to the point.
And we're all now stuffing our face, so
Mm.
for those of you who have misophonia, we apologize.
Present.
I have phasmophobia.
Okay. You know,
I do too,
I'm
ironically.
seeing way too many messages related to that. I need you guys to calm down.
I don't see what the big frightened deal is. You know,
The guy that spent the whole time in the back of the truck.
Rant?
hey, I just was
Oh.
trying to make it through my first trip alive.
You did good.
So.
You did good.
Mm.
I think it's bullshit. You can't run in that game. Matter of fact, it should be a special run. You know, the run where you're like trying to tuck your ass in so whatever don't bite it off. You know what I'm saying? You know, all y'all know the run I'm talking about.
Yep.
That run where you're
Bro.
going from the kitchen to the bedroom on a freaky night
All the lights are
where
out.
there's just all the lights have gone out and you're
I'm
like,
gonna be honest with
"Ah!"
you. A wooden door would not be the thing that stops me from getting outside of a house when a ghost is trying to kill me. Okay, I just want. I would go through the sheetrock if I had to.
So what you want is the instead of another flashlight or camera, you want the ball peen hammer.
Oh
So
yeah.
you
Just a
small,
sledgehammer.
like a 4-pound sledge, you know, just so you can pop through the door.
Oh yeah. Or I would just dive through the window or whatever I had to do. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
He does that, and it's like, hey, dude, there's just the cat shadow, bro.
I don't
He's
care.
already outside through the window, kind of bloody. Like,
Yeah, we're standing in the house, and I just walk over the light switch and start going flick, 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 flick. And he goes flying out the window.
Avery shut the door on him once. I thought he was about to
Oh,
have
really?
a heart attack.
Oh, shit.
I told him, I was like, I'm gonna kill you, dude.
All right, speaking of wooden doors.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so yeah, so all evidence that you guys are seeing points to just water.
So at that point,
taking
nope. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, you took your illusory cat, made your illusory cat go and jump up on the little edge of the fountain. And it's a fairly ornate fountain. It's like a 3-layer, so it looks like there's a larger fountain that you kind of see or whatever, and then standing in the middle of it essentially is a much larger kind of bird bath looking, that water is spilling out over the sides into like this waterfall that's like cylindrical around the entirety of the center piece, and then standing on top of that are like a series of like little statuettes or whatever that are doing their little fancy poses and spraying water out of their mouths.
So I kind of just look back at Roland and Skodrick and I go, so we've been teleported somewhere weird, holding some elements of the Underdark in this freaky sliding room mechanism, however you want to call it. And then there's this water fountain that's at the beginning of it all
Bunch of skeletons.
that have been there long enough for the clothes to start
I'm thinking they
deteriorating.
got trapped in there.
Well, either they got trapped in there or they went along this slide and couldn't find a way out and have just gone back there because they ran out of food and water.
Oh, not look at it like that. We still got a few. Might have a few more rooms to try.
given that it's the first door, most people will probably go in, examine it, and then again, if they get trapped in there, I mean, both scenarios could be completely plausible. But
So, DM,
we're seeing like a massive body. How many bodies are there total in there?
There's a lot.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a reason.
There are skeletons all the way around the fountain,
and not so much in the other.
None in the fountain.
Well, there are a couple that look like they had fallen forward. So there might be like one skeleton over on the side that's just kind of like bent over the wall of the fountain, like the head is hanging down into the water. But there are none that appear to be. Now, of course, you're looking from the doorway, so it's kind of hard to tell what lies beyond or behind the wall of the fountain.
And it's gonna stay that way.
All right, room number 3 then, guys, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I move the gear twice. Pull it.
You pull it down. Okay. All right, so that doorway begins to disappear out to the right as you guys move
And
back.
I pull it too and put a single strike
Okay.
on it. Same thing. I'm gonna mark each of the doors
Sure.
we come to.
Okay, so you hear 2 clicks. You begin to pan across, and you see the marking of the next doorway. As you pan across, it slides into view, lines up, and then slides out of view. You continue sliding, and another door comes into view.
Door number
Now,
3, huh?
this door
Anybody
is
got any guesses? We put some money on this.
What's behind the door?
Monsters, dead bodies.
now
Gold.
this
Yeah.
door is slightly different.
Oh,
What's it look like?
So this door has some sort of like dark red stain. It is a bit more ornate. It looks hand carved, and on the front of it in ornate Elvish lettering. And I think Skodrick, you're the only person that can't read Elvish, right?
Oh yeah, he is.
Can I see your helmet?
I mean, sure.
No.
It says, "Please come in."
I say that out loud. Please come in. I bet it's a banquet table.
Now, you said there was a red stain on the door?
Well, it's red
In the
stain on the wood.
red,
Stained,
so
okay,
it's like
gotcha,
red stained wood. Yeah, so it's like a dark, like a deep red, almost borderline maroon color.
So still no handle, just same MO. DM.
Right.
All right. So I'll push the door open.
As you push the door open, you're
I was gonna say check
hit
that out.
with this aroma, and it smells wonderful.
Mhm.
This wonderfully sweet smelling, almost like flowers and sex. I don't know.
Is it doing the 90s
Sex?
cartoon smoke?
No, not at all.
Is it Roland's brothel in the future?
So as the door begins to swing open, this one is also very well lit. It's a bit larger than the other rooms that you've encountered so far. In the center of the room, there lies a red carpet. It's highly decorated. There are wall sconces that are set in and just incredibly ornate. The wall sconces themselves appear to be, some sort of like iron that's bent into these fancy shapes. You see over to the left-hand side of the room, there is like this very ornate writing table with a chair that's pulled up to it or whatever. At the far side of the room, you see a canopy bed. On this canopy bed, there are these red silky drapes that are hanging all about the bed. You smell this very sweet scent. Over in the right-hand corner of the room, there seems to be some sort of like bath looking, and it has this illumination to it. This sort of illumination. As you guys are looking in the room, in the center of the room, there is this incredibly ornate chandelier also. So as you guys are looking in the room, you hear this very sensuous, like sultry female voice. I've not had visitors for some time. And
And who might you be?
you see this hand, this very delicate hand with gold bracelets kind of reach through and begin to push the drapery aside. Um, as the drapery is moved to the side, there is revealed this very quaint, shown in her bare skin. Roland's face. Oh, it's too funny. Sorry, guys. Shown in her bare skin, her skin just ever so slightly darker, uh, with this uh, beautifully brown flowing hair that hangs over her shoulder, and she stands up. She kind of pulls this red silk sheet, um, and she covers herself, and she says, "I am Lantras, and who are you, handsome?"
That name ring a bell?
Yeah, can I roll a history check on that, maybe?
Sure.
Just before anybody responds? Maybe just take a moment to, gather our
Got one.
thoughts. I got a 22 history check.
Nice. That's not bad. Even with that, though, you find that the name itself doesn't have any recognizable qualities.
Could you repeat that name, please, DM? Lantras?
Yes.
What race is she?
She's human.
Human. Interesting.
Yeah. As you're looking at her, she bears all the appearance of human.
I'll say,
She bears all.
Yeah.
I'll say, my name is Ricard. What is this place we found ourselves in? If you don't mind.
She's like, "Oh, this indamnable place that I was brought to." She says, "It is a place of pleasures and pain, a place of great wealth and sorrow." She says, "Find yourselves patient, and you will survive. Act hastily, and you won't." She says, "Many have come, many have gone, but I remain, for I cannot leave." And you note that she has this iron band, this ornate iron band that's wrapped around her neck. It has no lock, no keys, it doesn't have any kind of
Hinge.
markings on it or anything. No
Looks like
hinge,
it was forged around her neck, more or less.
basically. Yep. Hmm.
Who put you here? Sorry, did I talk over somebody?
I was just asking if she was cursed, but I guess you're asking the same kind of
Yeah.
question.
So she walks and she says, "One who hated me, one who despised me and damned me to this place." She very sensuously and sultrily begins to walk over to you, Ricard, and she says, "I would love some company."
Unfortunately, as you said, acting hastily would not be in our best interest. Unfortunately, We have a lot of people that are depending on us.
She says, "Oh, what a shame." And she looks at you, and she says, "I would love for you to spend some time with me."
Go look at her.
Ricard, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do I see what's
That
going
is
on?
a 18 wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, so you begin to feel initially this very strong, this overwhelming desire to be with her, to come in and be a part of what she has, and you immediately shake it off. And like, oh,
DM, in that moment when I realize what she's done and I've resisted it,
uh-huh.
I'm going to use my racial ability
Okay.
and attempt to charm her. So DC will be. It's not impressive. It's 11.
Okay.
I'm gonna get right back towards
It'll
where the cog
probably
was.
okay. It'll probably she'll probably fail because that's just how I roll in this. And
I'm going to say back to her,
Wow.
you know, a
Oh
very
my
tempting
God.
I'm rolling physical dice from now on. You
He
guys.
rolled a 3.
I'm done.
So-
I'm done. I'm rolling physical
Let me
dice.
role play this moment out. Come on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ricard.
Say, that's a very tempting offer. Perhaps we might come back and release you and you can travel with us. But unfortunately, beautiful traps are nonetheless traps.
And
Perhaps you can tell us everything we need to know about this place.
She says, though I don't know all of it myself, she says, I can certainly assist. And she, looking at you and says, should you require healing, my bath is a good place to be. And she very sexily begins to move, like step back, back to where her bed is.
I'll say, and what happens if we let this door close to the chamber we are in?
And she says, "Oh, absolutely nothing." She says, "Closing the door is how you release the cog."
And doing so allows us to turn the cog and move forward, correct? Or
Yes.
back. What things await us ahead?
I don't know all of them. She says, but I have heard some of the other men that have come through say that they found a grand ship. Stories of a crew of undead that wander aimlessly across the floor.
You don't say.
Says, oh, but I do. And she kind of like looks at you one more time, Ricard, and she like just drops her sheet. And standing there, she just grabs the sheet that's on the hanging around like the canopy bed or whatever, and she kind of pushes it aside and she runs a finger down her chest and she says, "Come back and see me sometime."
We just
Can't
might.
see Roland's eyebrows, but they're raised. I'm just kind of look over at Skadrick and be like,
Oh, that's what all the fuss is about.
yes, Skadrick, sex.
I'm gonna
So that's a female nude
so
body.
So that's charmed only for up to an hour, DM. Just for the record, up
Sure
to an
thing.
hour.
Are we ready?
So I pull the door to slowly.
He's like, you all right, Ricard?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm pretty sure that could be very interesting for a little while.
Yeah.
I'm putting
Pretty
3 long strikes down the door.
long, sad strikes.
Boy.
All right, man.
Okay.
Brothel idea doesn't sound too bad now, is it?
Look, if you're gonna run, she could be
Mine.
like number 1 on your brothel list. There you go. Unfortunately,
all male brothel at first, like get that, like there's a real niche market, I think, for that. But I don't know. I'm not sure who will be into it.
why why has it got to be all male? Why can't you have like a mixed client?
Well, everybody always has females. I'm like, what if we do the? I mean, there's some guys out here who really, don't be
Sure,
open
but
about
why
it.
not service both sides? I mean, geez, come on.
Just start off.
All right, what's up with that door? Scouter just changes the.
So I'm gonna keep the button pressed and the door open. Obviously, shutting the door allows the cog to unlock, right? But I'm gonna keep the door open so I can see what happens.
Okay. So you see the wall sliding by, left to right, and it slides by and it slides into another door frame.
Push door open.
Okay. As you push the door open,
I'd kind of wait for everybody to kind of come around so we can all see it all at once.
I would come around right behind.
Okay. So you push the door open and you see another room that again is identical in size to the one that you're in.
Is it full of naked women?
It is not.
I'm ready.
Men.
Shut the door.
Hey, you guys just find work somewhere? I got a great idea.
You can pick them up later.
Yeah.
Anyway,
This one
sorry.
has on the far end of the room, you see 3 treasure chests.
Okay.
All 3 of which essentially they're propped open by the amount of gold. Yeah. So like they're just absolutely full of gold, and the lids, so much so the lids can't even shut.
Are we in hell?
I feel like
I look over at Scodrick. I look back at Roll. I'm like, could this be any more obviously a trap?
I mean, literally every room has been obviously a trap. I don't understand who is running around in here, just going into any room in a dark, dank place like this and thinks, yeah, just go in here and just take whatever I want, or sleep with this random woman, drink from some mysterious fountain.
But hear me out.
Fun guy.
There's 3 chests over there.
Okay, Scodrick, what's going on?
I mean, I don't care about it, but you guys. I'm surprised you guys. You guys are like.
My pockets are full right now, sir. I'm fine. Lucrative business about to take off. Starting a whole chain of brothels.
Well, you got to start with the first one. Remember the first all-male brothel.
Yeah, but I'm thinking
I don't think it's going to do quite as well as you think, but I'm sure.
I'm not expecting it to do well immediately, but you got to get those people on the DL. They'll pay top dollar to keep that secret. Aside from that,
I look over at Scodrick. He's going to ruin the town.
Yeah.
I'm not. You know what? We'll discuss detail later. But no, we're not touching any of those treasure chests.
I'm gonna send. I'm gonna hold the button and send the mage hand out there. And grab a handful of gold with the mage hand. What does it do? What's happening? Nothing.
Nothing.
Let go of the gold, sprinkle it on the ground.
Nothing happened.
What did you go for?
The one in the middle. Because left and right is always right unless there's a middle. And can it lift the lid? Lifting the lid do anything? Explosion, death, murder, acid, arrows?
So you move over and you try to lift the lid. The lid seems to be immovable.
With the mage hand, that's
Right.
not moving. Okay.
Right.
Like, I'm going to take out my bow, knock an arrow, and shoot the chest.
Okay. Which one? The middle one?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna do
Do I need to roll attack?
that. Yeah, go ahead and roll attack.
Okay, cool. Yeah, arrow. Because if it's actually gold and we could actually get the gold, then don't shoot fire at it. Longbow. Ba-doing! That is a 23, DM.
Yeah. Yeah, so you hear a thud as that arrow strikes hardwood.
And now I'm
And
going to shoot the box on the right.
Okay.
With
Yeah,
another
make
arrow.
another attack roll.
If I'm seeing him doing this, I'm
That's a
gonna
16.
I'm gonna pull my bow out just to be
Okay.
extra safe. Step back.
As the arrow strikes the box on the right, you hear a screech, and
So
suddenly,
hey, there's gold in here though.
Can I roll some sort of check in this moment?
Well,
History or nature or anything to see if what I was doing now has a potential brain thing to make sense. I was just trying to see in game if I could set off any trap or anything like that, or if something would jump out or
well, you can make that roll. You make an intelligence check.
intelligence check. Okay.
But also, I need everybody to roll an
Yeah.
I got
Yay!
an 11.
I had a feeling.
Oh, do I get to roll damage?
It's just
Yeah, you can roll damage on that guy.
Yay! Oh, was it a sneak attack? I mean, was it a surprise attack? Do I get anything for surprise attack? I would have gotten advantage. Yeah.
Oh.
Would I have gotten advantage? It doesn't matter if I rolled a crit.
Okay.
Oh well, whatever. Damage. 9 points of a piercing damage onto what is probably a mimic, but that is out of game.
122.
My single initiative is a 12.
Bro, if I start rolling low with regular dice too, I'm just done. I'm just faking all my dice rolls after that.
Come on, come
That's
on!
not
You have to
fair.
admit it was entertaining. The succubus whatever thing.
Oh.
Well, it was obviously of some sort of humanoid, right? It was
Yeah, it was definitely
not
human.
necessarily a human, necessarily, but some sort of humanoid. Anyway, yeah, that was entertaining. Come on, it was a tiny little victory in a line of fuckery.
DM, are mimics well known to us?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Everybody is pretty. I imagine they're pretty well known to most people.
Yeah, I got an 11 intelligence check on
that. Well, given that you heard the screech come from the chest itself, so you definitely feel like that's a mimic.
How many teeth does it have?
It's a fucking mimic. Murder it.
Okay.
Get the other gold.
It is a bunch. It is a bunch of teeth.
So we're gonna stay and kill this thing?
I imagine the Dark Souls man.
Man, fuck those things.
Them lanky ass legs.
Jesus.
Kick you across the room with them.
I mean, so I would say stay and kill it. We can always go back to the chick's thing one roll back and heal herself in her bathwater.
Okay. Anyway. We're all terrible.
I'm just saying I got an hour. Hour. That's it.
Who goes first, DM?
Okay, so it's Roland. Roland, you're first.
Okay.
So you heard the screech. You saw Ricard notch his bow and shoot an arrow in.
9 points of damage.
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna drop the hunter's mark I already have, and then I'm gonna cast on this thing. So it's 2 spell slots.
It's fun, isn't it?
Use the fact if killing things is fine. Let's see.
Get it back.
Okay, so first turn, and I'm gonna shoot it with a regular arrow. Advantage.
It hits.
Okay, and the sneak attack was bad. I got I rolled on one of them. That's the only reason I'm saying that. I don't like seeing that red. Okay, yeah. So
Oh darn! I'm just gonna start adding +11 to all my rolls.
Yeah, I know, right?
Really.
so yeah, that's 18 points of damage, and then I can't action stuff. Unless I want to hide somewhere, but I'll just back up, kind of towards the wall a little bit, but still keeping it. It's this one, right? The one
Yep.
that we're. Okay,
Yep. It's the one on the south.
Gotcha. All right, yeah. So as long as I can still see it, I'll move back here.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So Scodrick, you're next.
All right. Bonus action. Cast spiritual weapon.
Look at you.
25.
Okay.
How crazy would it be if there were two in there?
Damage.
Try and give you. Okay, there we go.
It would suck.
Mm-hmm.
8 damage.
And then that was a bonus.
Yep.
I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt at level 1.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Look at
25.
you. Well, that's just like the opposite of Baldur's Gate, bro.
17 radiant. Ooh, that's a high roll.
Complete opposite of Baldur's Gate.
And the next attack on it has advantage.
All right. So you see this image of this strange, this mimic shaped like a treasure chest, essentially, just begin to deform and discolor and slump into the floor, into this heap, this weird mass, this weird fleshy like mass. And it goes down.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're still in initiative.
No, you're out. Yeah.
Okay,
Right, can I shoot the chest on the left now?
I was gonna move the spiritual weapon over too.
Everybody
well,
roll initiative. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you've got a spiritual weapon in there. Look, you want me to shoot it, or you want to smack it with your weapon?
I'll smack.
Chest on the left is the only one I haven't
Yeah.
messed with.
I'll smack it.
Okay.
19 to hit.
Okay. Yeah. Your sword comes down or whatever, and you see a little splinter of wood chip off.
Good.
Okay, now do we go in there and loot it?
Oh, don't you have that invisible guy?
No.
Oh, was that? Oh,
Yeah, that's one of the ones I lost.
oh man.
I could grab handfuls of gold with Mage Hand. Hey, sweetie. Thank you.
I mean, whatever you guys want to do.
You know what?
Play it safe and wait and do it that way.
I'll cross the threshold.
Oh no. Bye, Scodrick.
I'm gonna grab one of the chests. It's under. Ah.
Wait, stop moving. Hang
About the
on.
floor. The floor is lava.
The floor disappears. Son of a bitch.
All right. So you're moving along.
Mhm.
Oh, you went in there. Oh, fuck.
I went
Yeah,
in
he's just walking in.
yeah,
Which chest are you grabbing first?
the middle one.
Okay.
I'm
All
gonna,
right.
if I see something crazy happening, like the floor
So-
just drops out, I'm gonna fly over and catch Scodrick.
Okay. Um,
I'm gonna pull out Alduin's shield and wedge it in the door.
Why
Yes,
do you have it?
Because
Okay.
I have not found the Mount Doom or whatever to throw it into.
Mm. Oh, I thought you were gonna say you're gonna turn into a red
Um,
man or something. Latrine.
so you picking it up? Are you
That's
dragging it, or how are you
I'm
going to
dragging it.
Okay.
Just dragging
Um,
a bit.
So you drag it back 5 feet. When you do,
Oh,
you see in the floor underneath it there is
fuck.
a rune carved into the floor that immediately sets off, and you make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh
Yep.
shit.
15.
Not terrible.
Okay. So you'll only take half damage.
We go. Yep, shield.
Was that one thing? You said it was a rune on
Oh
the
yeah,
floor?
I'm rolling regular dice. I'm rolling real dice.
Well,
Like
it's
screw this.
dude. That's 4 damage I took, man. Is it fire?
It's fire damage. Yeah.
Okay, it's 2 damage then.
Oh shit. I forgot.
I'm
As that
resistant.
explosion goes off, I'm gonna run in there and
What?
I'm gonna run in there to
Nobody's
try
running in
to.
this room.
What the hell? Why am I underneath the floor? What the fuck?
Sit up in the music.
Move back again. Move back.
The,
Fucking hell!
Okay, hang on a second. Let me.
so you said there was a rune on the floor that
Oh,
seemingly caused the explosion, right?
there you go.
Okay, I'm gonna run in there to help Scodrick.
Yeah, there was a rune on the floor. It set
Alright,
off.
Let's at least get this one in. If we want to come back for the other one, we can. But
Okay, I'll help you drag it. Come on.
all right, we're dragging it out.
Or just
What?
Gibbs?
So we drag it out
Okay.
into here.
All right. Okay.
How much gold does the chest probably have in it?
A lot. It's a pretty good bit.
Put it in your bag.
That's what you want to hear from the DM.
Scodrick says.
Eyeglass.
Oh man.
Um,
I'm gonna put my eyeglass on and look at it. Is the gold actually each worth 1 gold?
it is. They are.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
They're
actually
actually each
pretty
worth
gold.
1
Y'all
gold.
want to divide it here or divide it later?
We'll do that
I mean,
later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have a rough estimate?
No.
DM, if I look at the chest,
Is it more or
full of
less than
gold,
what we
does
had
it
in
tell
our
me
own
how
chest?
much the whole chest of gold is worth?
No, no.
Well, okay. What I'm asking basically is like we have a chest in the bag of holding that has like 5,000 gold in it, right?
No, it doesn't.
I thought we did.
We did.
Yeah.
We used to share, I think.
Okay, well, the one that had at one point it had 5,000 is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So we know what that looks like. This looks like it has more.
I was gonna say, could I
comparatively?
do an intelligence check, given my merchant history, to guesstimate how much might be in here? Is that possible? Is
Yeah.
that cool?
Yeah, you can try it.
Intelligence check 19.
Yeah, it looks like there was a rune beneath this.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was mentally distracted. I think I was thinking about the last room and all, and
Yeah, I don't
I
blame
didn't
you.
even realize what you were doing until you were pulling it off the
No,
thing.
I understand.
Pull-
She was
pulling it off.
performing a mating ritual.
Yeah, that's something like that. Yep. Yeah.
So typically, chests like this one is larger than the one that y'all carried the 5,000 gold in. Chests like this could carry anywhere from 10 to 15,000 gold pieces.
Okay, that's great.
All right. So which one of y'all has a bag of holding?
I
Gosh.
believe it's just you, bro.
You believe what?
I believe it's just you.
Oh shit.
We need to get another one, huh?
I mean,
Yeah.
we have the goals for it apparently.
Yeah. Well, now we definitely do.
Do you want to
if
get
that's
the last one, or
Oh, we're going for that one too. We're gonna get greedy on this one.
I'm asking?
well.
I
Okay.
mean,
So here's the thing. We already got this one. If we go for that last one, this one was already trapped. I imagine that one would be trapped worse.
entirely
So
possible.
technically, this right here is split between the three of us, and I'm
Oh.
happy with that.
We're cutting out Kedron and Atlas.
They ain't here.
Damn.
I'm just being an altruistic businessman.
Sure.
Alright, so-
Why not?
Okay.
So we're passing, just
Mhm.
we're passing up on this last chest in this room while we're
Here's
here.
the thing. I really don't want. I mean, if you want to go for it, I'll go
Okay.
for it with you. But
Can we do the mage hand idea? I know that was
yeah,
thrown
I
out
can do
there.
that. I can do
Just
that.
do that.
I can do that.
We'll be here for a while.
I'm gonna deposit, but first
I mean, where are we going?
I'm gonna
Yes.
get out. I'm gonna deposit all of this gold in the bag of holding
I'll help them.
Okay.
Get that in there.
into a backpack or some. I'm gonna get every container-like device I can find in there that I
Well,
can note what it is, so I can
No.
separate it, right? So that I know what to divide up, right?
okay.
And we're gonna do that. So I've got like all kinds of different cloaks and stuff like that.
hmm
Some of them from different places that I've gathered, and just trying. Oh, this is big enough. I can fit that in, and so on and so forth. And then I guess I'll. All right, so mage hand in the room to the other chest. I assume the lid is too heavy to lift.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, y'all, I can
Has
bring
anybody
the
got
gold.
rope?
I mean, sure.
Yes.
So we can at least carry
You want to
the.
have the mage hand?
Is
Yeah.
there a handle on? There's a handle on the side of the trunk, right?
There are handles on the sides.
Okay.
How far is it? 5, 10, 15, 20 feet? I've got 50 feet of silk rope.
Okay.
Can I use that and give it to my mage hand and have him loop it through? Not tie a knot, right? Because that's a little bit too dexterous, I think, for mage hand.
Sure.
But just him like loop it through and then pull the other end back to us.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do
Yeah,
that.
do that.
And
I'll help pull.
yeah, and I'll help too. I'm like, okay, well, at least now if it blows up, we won't die.
Okay.
Strength
So,
check.
Yeah. But you get either one of you with advantage, or each one of you can make your own strength check.
I can
Something
assist.
cumulative.
Okay.
I can
However you guys
assist
wanna do that.
whoever has the highest score because I have proficiency with it.
Certainly not me.
I have 2.
Me too, but do you have proficiency with it?
Strength?
Yes. Like I'm
Is it
technically a fighter.
athletics?
Oh,
I'm proficient in athletics.
Do an athletics check.
Okay.
okay. I'm not proficient. You go ahead.
Well, no, it's the first one. He's not proficient.
Yeah, I'm not proficient. I'm proficient in strength.
What is it? It's silk rope.
Yes. It's better than normal rope. So
Okay.
can I do just a strength check to try and help him pull it, or do I need to do athletics?
Wait, how do you know if you're proficient?
It's just got the check beside it.
Are you talking about the saving throw or the?
Oh, that is saving throw. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
it would
it
be
is.
We'll just
athletics,
call
right?
it athletics.
Oh, okay.
I
Well, if
got
it's
an 11.
athletics, he
What if he,
never mind.
what do you have it? There's nowhere you have proficiency. You have
I
-1.
I have proficiency in athletics.
Yeah, I know, but if it would be
Yeah.
if you were helping him as opposed to helping you, I guess, right? So if he was helping you, then you would have got both of the checks. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not proficient in that. So
But I can
I'm
help
not particularly
him.
good with
So-
strength-based stuff, but
Technically, I could help him. Sorry, I don't know.
so with an 11 and a 7, do we do anything, or am I about to call out for Roland's help to pull it?
It's definitely heavy. It's definitely got
Okay.
some
Roland, give me a hand.
good
Okay.
weight.
Pseudo dragging
Athletic.
against the end of the rope, just like
Wait! Before you roll,
Guidance.
may the Hobbit be with you.
Okay, it's a D4.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, we need all the help we can get here. This is terrible. This
The
is really
best is
pathetic.
11.
Just got a
It's
10.
a 10.
So essentially, what I would utilize in this case is the
Oh
take 10 rule, where you spend enough time and you can take a 10, right? And so I would give that to you guys.
Okay.
Okay,
in this,
just keep on hammering at it.
right?
Does
And
it explode?
eventually, no, it doesn't explode. So eventually, it begins to make movement, and you're pulling like the chest towards you, and so like the side with the handle on it that's had the rope looped through it, kind of begins to drag the chest, and so it's turning a little bit to angle itself towards you, and so you pull it a little bit away from the corner of the wall or whatever. As you're pulling it, you hear and when you hear that happen, a stone portcullis drops from above the door frame and slams down on your rope.
I look and I go, see, we'd have just been trapped. Worse trap.
Did
Can
you lose your
anybody
rope?
here
Or you
reshape
able to
stone?
pull it out?
Wait, did that just crush Alduin's shield?
Yeah, let me look at Alduin's shield real quick.
Could I get a reflex save to try and grab that shield?
No. It might be a good thing they didn't, because it's not closed then. If it's on top of the shield, right?
Well, let me see Alduin's shield.
Okay, for the DM, if you'll give me a chance to reflex save to grab the shield,
Okay.
I will grab the shield instead of
fuck the
trying,
shield.
because the shield means more to me.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
His
you
quest
can,
for
Roland's like,
vengeance.
what the fuck?
you can make a deck save. See if
Okay.
you
I think
let
I'm
go
starting
of
to
the
get your
rope
deck
enough
save right
time.
now.
All right,
Grab
so
it.
you give me a deck save. Okay, so that is a 20. No,
Shit.
that's a 16.
God damn it.
Did that succeed in grabbing the shield before the door
Oh,
slammed on?
man.
Yeah, that's not bad. We'll say you get the shield out just in time.
Okay.
It's like the door is like sliding down, and you're like grabbing the shield, and it like kind of glances up on the front of the shield just as you're pulling it back. Or whatever.
Roland's just gonna look at Ricard like, what? Why?
You said I can make it into a toilet. Now I want to keep it.
Yeah,
Put
and
it
the
back
door
in the
would
bag of holding.
got you halfway there by slamming it and flattening it a little bit, and maybe still got in the chest or something.
If it had been stuck under the door, I wouldn't have gotten it out, though.
I know we might have been able to lift it up,
I'm not trying to lift it.
I think
Anyway.
I think we should walk away from this one as it was a win. Okay.
I'm gonna try to lift it.
Okay,
Oh god.
you're making a strength check.
Gonna wreck it. Oh god.
It is solid.
Yeah, we're not getting it, guys. And did he lose his rope?
Oh yeah.
The rope is
Oh,
stuck under the door.
The rope is stuck under the door.
It is
There would
stuck-
Roland's gonna
be
try to lift it with all his greed.
like 10 feet of rope. I'm gonna cut the rope at the door.
okay.
Does it even budge?
So it would be. Let me see.
Are we doing strength checks? I'll
Yeah,
help
10
you.
feet. You lose about 20 feet because it's doubled.
I roll a 16 strength check to try and help Roland lift the door.
Okay. So you go in and try and add your
Yeah.
bit. It still
Yeah.
does not budge.
Bullshit.
Okay, yeah, it's done.
Like, look, we gave it the good old
We tried.
College of
Well,
Winterhold
Scott,
try.
your spirit weapon's gonna be lonely in there for all eternity.
For all 1 minute.
So I'm gonna cut and kind of save my 10 feet of rope. And
Hey,
hey,
a rope for up to 10,000. That's not bad.
yeah, there we go. 10 to 15,000 worth of gold.
Do we
and
know
10
how
to
much
20.
is in there now that we actually separated the gold and put it? Do we know how much is in it?
No, you just stored it. You didn't count it.
Yeah.
Stored right. All right, so I guess next room.
Yep.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Pull it down.
So I'm gonna push the button again with mage hand.
Make sure I got the right dice here.
Wouldn't it be crazy if this chest was still a mimic, but it was just waiting for us to like smart and it's like, I'm not gonna.
Are you saying that out loud, Roland?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I'm gonna look over at the chest and just shoot it with firebolt.
I'm just keeping an eye on it.
It scorches.
Okay.
Shoot it
Well,
again.
no, don't. We're not locked. We're almost in the locked room. If it starts smoking here, we'll die of smoke inhalation. Stop! What are you doing?
Okay. I'll prestidigitation and create a small amount of water to douse it,
Okay.
or to put I'll prestidigitation to put any flame out.
Okay.
So we don't die of smoke inhalation, as Roland so eloquently put it.
I'm a scientist. I know what's going on. Lung cancer, aliens.
Okay, so you guys move on to the next room.
I look back at Skodrick. Wait, do we want to go back to the other room? I could keep her distracted while you soak in her bath.
Oh no, I hardly took any damage.
Oh, listen to Billy Badass over
No. Bahamut was with me.
Okay.
Oh,
Billy Bahamut over here. Okay, sure.
Billy Bahamut ass.
Did you dare besmirch his name?
That's pretty funny.
Okay.
What does Billy have to do with this? I don't understand.
I don't come up with these damn sayings, man. People say shit.
Okay, so you come to the next doorway, and again, it looks like a plain door. No.
Door open.
Lightning bolt.
Poison gas.
So as you're looking in this room or whatever, I'm looking for a thing.
I'm looking for an elder.
As you open the door,
Yeah,
go ahead and roll initiative.
Ancient black dragon.
Close the door!
Blue-eyes white dragon.
Close the door!
Is that another roper? Oh shit. It got bigger. It's like, no.
You need to calm down there.
So there is just in the center of this room, there's a massive hole.
There's a hole.
And that's the way out, guys?
Ideally, yes.
In the middle of the room. The hole in the middle of the room.
Pretty much.
There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole in the middle.
There's a hole full of death in the room. Okay.
Hey, Ricard.
Yeah.
Don't want to suggest anything crazy, but maybe Pseudo Dragon goes on a little bit of an expedition.
I just look at you and I go, you realize this isn't like Kidrin's moose, right?
It's not like that?
No, she's a real thing. She died.
So like she'll die. Okay. That's
not like die. Like I can technically, I think I can resummon her, maybe, but it's not easy. Right.
I'm assuming Went is still playing with the dog, Roxy.
It's Moxie.
Moxie. At the
you don't
Flying
know.
Stone? No, I'm just kidding.
It's the Alice's house, man.
Real quick, what time do you guys need to?
Like
Good.
normal time.
I'm
is fine.
good.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay. What? How much is a little bit? Ricard, you thinking like midnight or midnight 30?
I'm good till about 1. If I can take a short break here for just a minute, just
Okay.
like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. For all you D&D enthusiasts that might be watching the stream tonight, don't forget to, and I'm not getting paid for this, okay? I just want y'all to know. Don't forget to swing by and get your copy of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. I'm going to be honest with you. I've read through some of it, a decent portion of it actually, and it's got some stuff in there. I definitely like some of the things it's got in there. So we're going to be implementing some of those things into our campaign. So we're pretty excited. So it is for sale also on Roll20. So if you guys want to pick it up on Roll20, and then I've got mine in person as well. Our guys here are pretty generous, and so acquired for us the book on Roll20, and then and I bought my personal copy. But it's pretty good, man. It's got a lot of some DM tools, and I'm pretty excited about some of the class features and stuff that they have added in here. I'm pretty happy with it. It was a good purchase. I'm on for $30 on Amazon. I'm not getting paid to say that either. I should be. I wish.
Give us money in Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
All your money.
Come on, Wizards.
Yeah, man.
I love how everybody who's salty about the sorcerer stuff. They're like, well, it's not called Sorcerers of the Coast. Obviously, we shouldn't be surprised. They've been saying that for a while.
So how's everybody doing tonight? Is anybody in chat right now?
I don't know. I don't
No.
have my Twitch pulled up.
Boo. Well, hello, one person. I see people that had jumped in and out though.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Scodrick, if you had Missy Step, I said maybe just Missy Step down this dark, dank hole and see what happens.
Why do you think I have that?
No, I know you don't have a set. If you had it, I would retry that.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I did that in Baldur's Gate 3.
Of mine, yeah, I thought it was a great idea.
Long dark hole.
I sure did.
And did it kill you?
It sure did. It's actually a video on the YouTube right now. It's a 30-second video.
Sweet. Watchers on Twitch, go check that out. Playing Baldur's Gate 3. Pretty excited. Oh, for those of you that don't know, on Twitch as well, Elite Dangerous is free in the Epic Game Store right now. So if you're a member of the Epic Game Store, you can get Elite Dangerous for free tonight. I don't know how long it lasts. Go quickly.
You hear that, Epic Games?
Oh, okay. Speaking of other games, I know Ron's been trying to, not really, I wouldn't say he's trying to do this. He mentioned like some roguelike games to me. I will say Hades looks pretty good.
Enter the Gungeon is incredibly difficult. Just
Yes.
Avery said, "Love you guys."
Oh,
we love you too, Avery.
You're missing some epic
loot.
Yeah.
I mean, don't tell him that. He's gonna.
Oh yeah.
It's too late now.
Oh God, it's not his fault. He left his laptop.
That is his fault.
Well,
Okay,
he got new arms. All right.
Okay.
Hang Exactly. He got fancy
Skadric,
new arms.
we could buy you something, Skadric, if you want something.
No, it's cool, man. You know. He said, "No way."
Okay.
I'm fighting for you, buddy. I'm trying to help you out.
This is. Did you find loot again without me? How
Yes.
much? We don't know yet.
Oh
But
God.
probably somewhere between blah blah and blah blah.
More than you need to know about.
Okay.
Unless we all wake up from a dream.
Oh man, wouldn't that be?
Oh, that would be.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting.
That's a fascinating idea.
What?
Ricard.
Hey,
All right.
no metagaming, DM.
Make an assessment.
And again, invokes disadvantage. Saying that a lot.
On inspiration.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
Don't do it.
Given the I mean, I roll so shitty all the time, so I need some kind of inspiration, right? I guess I have the power just to award myself inspiration.
Look how he takes his poor RNG, like look out on us, like we didn't do anything. Well, I didn't roll higher than 10 this time, guys. You're gonna get next session. Just get ready for like whoa. It's like, well, I mean, I would have gave you some of my rolls if I could have.
It's not like I rolled poorly one time. I've rolled poorly in every battle with every major character that you guys have ever fought. The
Not
year and a
our
half.
fault, sir.
So the hole in the roof.
Yeah, the hole that now went to a safe place. Now it's going to a very, very, very bad place.
Yeah, so
I just let everyone know. I could cast clairvoyance, but it would only.
Sure.
I can only see like what I can see in the hole.
Don't do that. It'll be okay. So.
Okay.
I'm making this noise, right? But what I'm doing in game Ricard is like holding Lana and like petting her head and go, okay, be very, very careful. You go out, you look down, see what's in the hole, come back. If I see anything, if you see anything that's threatening, you're afraid, just mentally tell me in that instant you're back, okay? I let her go and let her fly out, and I'm like,
I was gonna say, DM, is the room itself, is it lit or no?
No, it's not.
It's not lit. Okay. I was gonna say
it's
if the
very dark.
darkness in there is magical related, she couldn't see anything, so give her like
is
a
it
torch
magically related?
or candle or something.
This particular room, the primary portion of it does not seem to be.
Okay, well, I'm gonna like stop her, and as Roland is saying this, like you said this in game, right, Roland?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take my candle, give it to my mate, give it to I'm gonna hold off on Mage Hand for a second. I'm gonna cast my. I assume I still have the cantrip that you gave me, DM. That allows me to give my pseudo dragon 1 die 4. What is it? 1 die 4? No, bonus 1 AC for 1 die 4 hours.
Yes.
Okay, so let me roll 1 die.
I have another torch.
Sure, that would be great.
Bag, light it with the other one. Here you go.
So for 4 hours, she has plus 1 AC.
Cool.
So I'm gonna give the torch to Mage Hand and have her go along with her as she flies slowly out.
Okay.
And I am going to be like Hawkeye's on her, waiting to poof her out of existence. Right?
Sure. Okay. Okay, so she flies down into the hole.
Well, not like deep, not like over the hole.
Oh, just over the hole.
Yes,
Okay.
and see if she sees anything, and then we'll go from there.
So if you're holding the torch, are you going in the room as well? Or
No,
just holding the torch right
Mage
there?
Hand is going to hold the torch and go
Okay.
into the room with her,
Okay.
and Mage Hand will lower the torch down into the hole.
Okay. So she looks down, and about 50 foot down, seemingly, there is a rippling reflection of the torch that she sees. The rest of it is blackness.
Like water.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Some kind of liquid.
Okay. Poof, she's back on my shoulder. Like,
Okay.
I don't even, and I bring the Mage Hand back up. And then I'm going to take the torch from Mage Hand, give Mage Hand one of my candles, lit, and let it go out there and lower down and release the candle into the liquid.
Okay. As soon as the candle's flame touches the liquid, it goes out.
Okay. Well, it's not flammable. The hole is full of some sort of liquid. It seems like
How far down?
50 feet.
Oof.
Seems like a trap.
Now, could your Pseudo Dragon, I guess, were you looking through the eyes of the Pseudo Dragon when it happened? I'm just trying to get a idea of how big the room or the space was
No, I
down
was
there.
going off of her. I wanted to make sure I could summon her back,
Okay.
which I guess I should have done. Could have done through the eyes of the pseudo dragon because I can still take a physical action. I just can't see or see anything. Right.
Right.
But either way,
Okay.
I don't want to go down in the hole with the water at the bottom.
Sure, but I mean, the only reason I'm even slightly interested in this is because our succubus friend mentioned something about a ship, and the only way a ship would even have any way of getting
Well, that's
around.
rude. We hardly knew her. We didn't know she.
This is fair. I'm just
Exactly.
going off of what I heard. I heard a rumor from
It's only
someone
been
in
what about like half an hour, DM?
this room.
I can totally go back to her and talk to her more about it.
Sure, but if there is a ship in this facility, and there's a body of water down in this hole, there's a chance it's down there. I'm not sure if we want to get on said ship or not, but I mean,
I would like to have a ship.
I could fly down there and look.
I suggest not doing that. I suggest we look
Okay.
at other doors, and I'll make my marks like I did on the last one and every other
Sure.
one, numbering them.
Mhm.
Door 1 is the pool. Door 2 is the mushrooms. Door 3 is where I want to go.
Okay.
Door
Door
4 is
4,
Colas now. Port Colas now.
yeah, it's now non-enterable. So
All right. So we're going to door. Are we going to door
5.
6?
Yeah, this
We're
is
at 5
5.
now. Yes, we're
This
going to
is
6.
Oh, this
Or
is 5.
are we going back to 3?
No, go to door 6.
Okay. There is a door
No.
6.
All right.
So mark the door.
Okay.
Mage hand back. Oh, well, mage hand is mage hand, whatever.
Yeah.
Mark
It
the
just
door.
depends on if you want the burning torch back or not.
Oh, no, I got the torch. This was a candle that I dropped. I brought
Right.
the torch back to me. So
Okay.
now I put Godric's torch out. Give it back. Here you go.
You want to hold on to it just in case?
Sure, thanks.
I mean, you want one too, Roland? I have 10 for some reason.
Oh, that's amazing.
I mean, I don't really want to see me.
Okay. All right. So you guys hear the rumble as the wall begins to slide again.
I'd say patience will pay off.
Um, so when the so the room does eventually come to a halt again, and you guys open the door, and you see there is another doorway on the other side of the door. Uh, and it looks similarly to what you guys had experienced or what you guys had been seeing already.
It's just another
Um,
door, no handle.
right.
Is
Okay.
there a scratch mark on it?
No, there is no scratch mark.
Okay. Door
Can I
marks.
investigate the door? I probably
Yeah.
should have been doing this every time.
Yes, you can.
Make sure it doesn't look trapped or anything. That would be a 9 investigation roll.
Okay. It doesn't give the appearance of having any kind of traps connected to it.
Once everybody gets over to the door, we push it open.
Yep. And it swings open. Um, now this room is a little differently, or looks a little differently. It's much darker in here, so it does seem to have that kind of magical like darkness to it or whatever. Um, and as you kind of glance on the other side, this room, you see to the left and the right of just inside the door frame, the wall kind of curves, and then it, you know, essentially darkness just it disappears into the center of the room. So as you're looking, you can't see very far into the room, and there's just this deep darkness. Now the walls seem to stretch out pretty far on either side.
Okay.
Light it and I toss it.
I was gonna say, okay.
Okay. So you toss your torch. And as you toss your torch, suddenly you hear the sound of skittering,
Hmm.
but it is not just like one or two things. It is like massive, like this. It seems to emanate from almost the entirety of the room. Now, Skydrick, make a perception check real quick.
Wand of fireball in my hand.
Okay. Sure.
21.
So Skydrick, as you're looking, you toss the torch or whatever, and the torch illuminates, and you see like flickering reflection across the floor until it hits the floor. And when it hits the floor, there is this, and you see essentially what looked like, oh, excuse me,
Bless you.
essentially what looked like black floor before. Now there is revealed stonework where
Hmm.
where the torch is laying.
I pull the cog.
Okay. It's time to be hasty. We don't know what's in this room.
I scratched hastily on the door. Number 6. I'm like, what the heck? Pull it too.
Guys, some of these rooms might have actual things you might, want.
Do you
might
want what?
be a- I'm not saying. I mean, I don't think the door is going to open and be like, "Here's the exit." I think there might be some
Well,
stuff.
okay. So
There
here's
might
the
be
thing.
Let's
figuring
get our
this.
options.
Wait.
Yeah.
So let's have a discussion. Okay. So if we were dungeoneering, if we were going into a dungeon, right? If
Mhm.
to gather,
Willingly.
then there's certain supplies we would need to have, right? Like few unmovable rods to block doors. There's this there's things we sell all the time in the adventuring shop. In
Mhm.
Stoneflower,
Sure.
right?
It's
If
Stoneflower, man. I
that's what
keep
we were,
saying that wrong. Then
I know you do. I don't even remember the name of your family shop, so it's okay. It's your family shop, so that's what I call it. So that's what you can call mine. It's all good. Um. So
Bogsland.
yeah. there's certain things we would need, and if we go, here's the thing: if we go through this doorway into that room, and that door closes like it did on the chest room,
Hmm.
how do we get back? How do we
Okay.
get out?
How do we get out now? That's the
We
Well,
question.
we got to get our
we
options. So let's
No,
we
keep
be
going.
I
patient.
understand. I
We be
understand.
patient.
I'm not suggesting we would have gone inside the room and gone exploring, but like we don't know. Like we couldn't even see more than I guess 5 feet into the room.
We'll come back to it. Are we to the next door yet, DM? Is this
Uh,
conversation is going
you
on?
do you do rotate around.
Oh
Now,
Jesus!
as you're rotating around, you make note that the feeling of the sliding in this particular instance takes quite a bit longer than it did for the rest of them.
Hmm.
Big room.
That,
Um,
that did look like a pretty big room.
when the when the wall comes to a stop, you you swing the door open. When you swing the door open, it is just a vastness, a vast darkness that exists.
Again,
Uh, this room seemingly uh, much larger than the last. Still,
you want to throw in another torch, Scadrick?
Don't throw it. Give it to my mage hand. Let it carry it out there.
Sure.
Light another one. Light it.
Then you got 10 of those.
Yeah.
You give it to my mage hand.
Yeah.
Alright, floop. Spectral hand. Floats it out there 30 feet, which is, is that the range of mage hand? I think that's the range of mage hand.
I don't recall.
There we go. 30 feet. Yep.
By the way, I'm dying. My wife has the heat on,
Oh.
and I'm dying. And the vent is directly under my desk, so it's blowing right up on my knees and everything. So if I begin to melt, that's why.
Well, okay, wait. If I'm reading this right. It's okay. No, you
Yeah.
guys are right. You
Once
guys are
it
right.
goes more than 30 feet away from me, it vanishes.
Yeah. Okay.
And it can be moved 30 feet each time I use it. It can't attack or activate magic items. It's 10 pounds, not 5 pounds. There we go. So it's stronger than I thought it was. So does we carry the torch out 30 feet at
Okay.
normal human height?
Sure. So it goes 30 feet, and it's
Stops.
just 30 feet of empty, essentially.
There's no
Okay.
floor.
There's floor. It's essentially the same floor as what you guys are standing on.
Okay.
How does it smell?
But
Does it
outside
smell
of
any fresher?
a little bit, just a touch. The air in here smells just a little fresher.
So firebolt over the top of the torch, 120 feet out in a straight line.
Okay. Um,
When it reaches the end of it, it just pops into a bright
Okay.
shower of sparks. If
Yeah.
it doesn't hit anything.
Right.
Does it hit anything?
So it does.
No fuck.
It does.
Don't
As,
get
My eye.
as it's flying outward, essentially, so you're shooting it directly over the torch.
Yeah.
So it goes over the torch or whatever, and as you see it, it kind of makes the floor glow a little bit as it's traveling along or whatever. But then it hits this what appears to be some incredibly large uh, stone something. It is very oddly shaped, and whatever this stone is, it appears to be suspended. It's held off of the ground. So essentially, what you catch is the bottom of this like cut stone type something. So the fire hits it and kind of bursts. You see the red flicker of light on it, and you can tell that it's definitely cut stone. It's definitely It's very large, suspended off the ground.
About how far in was this?
Maybe probably like 90 feet in.
Okay. Could I shoot at ever increasing increments of height to try and illuminate more and more of this thing to see what it is?
Shit.
Yes, you can.
Because firebolt's just a cantrip, so I'm just like.
Sure. So you continue to do so. You continue to shoot fire bolts up or whatever, so you can see. And as you kind of work your way up, you see this like tapered bottom, right, that kind of curves in this kind of cut fashion or whatever, and eventually um, it just begins to go straight up. And as you continue to shoot up or whatever, there is some sort of iron band that you then reveal, um, that appears to be the item that is holding this structure aloft, this stonework, whatever this is. And then as you continue to shoot upward, um, you see the top half or the top portion of that iron band, and then it tapers off at the top again above that.
Have
Can
you ever
what,
seen anything like
history check, DM? Would
Sure.
that be it?
Yeah, history check. Anybody who wants to make a history check can
A
do so.
15 history check.
18?
Okay. So from what you guys have read, studied, the travels, the stories that you've heard from travel, etc., um, there there isn't really much that, given the very little bit of detail that you guys have been able to recognize in and among this attempt or whatever, um, the only thing that you guys recall is that uh, there are at times large crystalline structures that are held, or well, for many reasons essentially. Um, so large crystalline structures that are imbued with some sort of elemental magic, that are held aloft for whatever reason. And so that's the only thing that you guys could think of that bears any kind of semblance to what you're seeing here.
Okay. Would an Arcana check? Can I
I
do that
suggest, have you seen
as well?
anything?
DM?
You can do an Arcana check. You guys are a pretty good distance from it, so it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to.
Tell you what, I might. So 16 Arcana check. I'm gonna. Is it magical darkness, or is it I can see 60 feet out with dark vision?
It seems to be some sort of magical darkness that's in place. So you can still see, but not 60 feet out.
Okay. I'll just look over at Roland and go. This darkness in this place is really pissing me off.
Uh-huh.
So
Did you really get the light cantrip?
all right. So tell you what. I'm gonna,
Everybody roll a perception check real quick.
okay.
Oh.
Shit.
12?
Wow.
I got a 19 perception.
Okay. Um, you you begin to hear this clicking and clacking type sound. Um, you you hear the strike of metal against stonework. And um, so you're not 100% sure, but there is definitely something else in here. The sound of movement, essentially.
Just look back at everybody else. I'm like, again,
Okay.
mark it and move on.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
I brought the torch back in. Door closed. Mark it. That would be what, number 7?
Uh, is this 6 or 7? 7, right?
6 was the spiders
Okay, yeah.
thing. Yeah.
All right. So the the sliding again seems to take a significant amount of time. Um, and eventually it comes to a stop. And when it comes to a stop, again, it's another, as you guys pop the door open or whatever, it's another door frame with the same kind of wooden door that you had noted previously. Let me rehide this. And then we'll do this. um, so as you push the wooden door that is there, what is revealed is a decently sized, smaller room. In this room, there doesn't appear to be any of that magical darkness. So you can see, 60 feet dim light. Um, this room is just 15 by 15 foot. It has in the back right corner one a singular bed with straw, essentially. To the left of that, there's a little writing table with what appear to be some old, decrepit parchments uh, with a little bottle sitting next to them. To the left of that, in the room, there is another larger table in which you see a couple of like crusts of uh, moldy and deteriorating bread. Uh, you guys see across the floor, the floor is the same as what you guys are standing on. Across the floor, there is a couple of dead insects, uh, but there's really nothing else in this room.
hey, Ricard, can you grab parchment paper? And if there
Yeah.
is a utensil or
So I
writing,
used Mage Hand. I'll grab
Okay.
the items you requested if they're there.
Okay. So use Mage Hand. You reach over to where that parchment is or whatever, and the Mage Hand goes and grabs the parchment. When it grabs the parchment and lifts it, the portion of parchment the Mage Hand is holding basically just disintegrates, and the rest of the parchment just kind of flops back onto the table.
Interesting.
Writing utensil.
There is a feather on the table, like a feathered quill, or whatever.
Go to pick it up.
So you go to pick it up. It does seem a bit brittle. It doesn't disintegrate like that, but it does seem a bit brittle.
Just with a tiny bit of pressure in the Mage Hand, does it break
Uh,
apart?
it doesn't break apart. It's almost as if like when you break a feather in the middle, and it's like still hanging on, but it's just kind of like dangling, but the feathery portion of it is pretty mangy, and most of it's missing. But you pick it up, and it holds together.
Okay. So
Is there
I'll bring
any
that
ink in there?
back. Is there any what?
Ink? Probably not.
I'll bring that back and set it down on the floor in the doorway and see if I can find any ink. Do I see
So you go over there,
ink
you
vial?
see. Well, there is one little, like little bowl or something that looked like ink has been poured into multiple times, but it is dry.
Okay. I say, well, we could go investigate it. Don't feel like there's a whole lot in here, though.
But it could give us clues to get out of here.
And you guys do a Arcana check or anything on this? Is there any kind of magic or anything in the room?
I can't. Arcana doesn't really let me detect magical fields, but more notice the signs that magic is present or been used.
Does anyone have detect magic? Oh, okay.
I did at one point, but I don't anymore.
Alrighty then. So what's the game plan? You guys trying to go to the next room?
You said there was a desk. Are there drawers on the desk, DM?
No,
No.
it's just like a little writing table. So it's got like 4 legs that come down, and then a top that's slightly slanted.
From this angle, since it's only like a 15 foot, 15 by 15,
Mhm.
if I don't know, reach my head around,
You want to see if there's
I see any writing on the parchment at all?
You do. There does appear to be writing on the parchment.
All right. So, do you let me know that, Scotty?
Yeah, there's writing on that parchment.
All right. So, through the eyes of my pseudo dragon, I fly my pseudo dragon over there, and
Sure.
what is written on the parchment?
So as you're looking at the parchment, this one says day 42 at the top. And then it says, I've made an attempt again to fix it, but it's not working the way that I want. And then it says, if I could just get thee, and then that portion of parchment has been crumbled off on the right edge. And then the next line is, I might be able to get out of here. It says, I'll make another, and then it's crumbled off again. And then it says, hopefully soon. I don't have much food left.
All right. So I've kind of read that off
Mhm.
as I was looking at it.
Well, his body's not in here.
Probably at the fountain.
Maybe.
Wasn't
Maybe.
it sure? Weren't you the one that suggested that as a reason for all the bodies are there?
I was.
All right. Number 8, right?
That's number 8. So pseudo dragon back, pull the door
Okay.
to. Well, this is beginning to look more and more like it won't be a quick procedure. That's door number 8.
I have to have a word with this.
All right. So as the room is sliding, it slides around and stops at a door frame. This door has an X on it.
You guys didn't mark any of these an X, right? We didn't mark any with an X, correct?
Oh.
Okay.
Well, this is Ricard. This is your marking. This is a marking that you made.
This is the very first room. I push the door open.
Okay.
Yep. And as you push the door open, you see all of the skeletons lying around the fountain.
Yeah. Okay.
So about how long has it been, DM?
It's been about 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes.
Gotta find out from your lady friend.
And we got 15 to 20 minutes before my charm on her wears off. So if we were going to talk to her, she's the only one that speaks so far.
That we're aware of.
That's room number 3, right?
Yep.
Click, click.
Okay. Cool. So you guys.
So I'm going to tell
move
Lena to count to 9 minutes. And when we hit 9 minutes, to let me know. And that is her only duty.
She can tell time.
Yeah, she's intelligent. She can literally sit there and count.
Okay.
All right. Is that cool, DM?
Yeah, for
That
sure.
way okay. So you just, when we hit that 9, whatever you decide the 9-minute mark is.
Sure. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. Okay, so the room slides back around. You see that one fancy door that you had seen before. You push it open.
Door open.
And you know the luxurious red rug that's in the center of the room is still there. I can hide this because you guys don't need it. And you hear that same sensuous, sultry voice. Couldn't stay away, I see.
Hello, Lantris.
Hello.
I do suppose if we come in here, there might be a stone wall that slams shut behind us at some point.
And she's like, oh no, they don't have to keep me in with that. Unfortunately, this band keeps me here.
But it might keep us here.
She says, and where I would quite enjoy that. I guess they didn't feel it necessary.
So, if everybody's
She-
cool with it, I'm gonna just go. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean.
Oh yeah, so she is now slid out of bed once more, leaving the sheet behind this time.
Of course.
Sure.
So, if there's no objection with everyone, what I would do is just go over each room that we passed, right?
Okay.
And look for any information from her on any of them, and specifically asking about the ones where we could not see into clearly, and the room that looks like somebody was living there, and see if she knew who that was.
Okay. She tells you about the room with the fountain. She says the man who was living in the room, his name was Marcus. And then she make a perception check real quick.
Okay.
So she tells you that when Marcus came to visit her, he mentioned something of a ship,
21.
and then tells you that he makes mention of the fountain and how when he approached the fountain to get some water, he began to hear the most beautiful song. And said that he essentially became entranced by it, but somehow was shaken out of it. Somehow managed to shake out of it, but she says that He also did not go into the large room with the bugs. She says that Marcus kept calling them the bugs, and then said that he had not been able to find a way past the bugs, but he hadn't made it into the room. And he says, or she tells you of when he's talking about the ship, he was talking about those that had originally been on the ship and told a story about skeletons, essentially, a skeleton crew, as it were.
But how did he get to the ship?
And she says he didn't mention.
What about the room with the hole in it? Any idea what liquid is at the bottom and what's in there?
So she tells you how he says that he had tried to scale down the hole some ways and noted that there appeared to be some sort of sea creature in the water beneath.
It does appear that there's no obvious direct way out of here. You mentioned being patient. What did you mean by that?
She says that anyone that she's talked to once, she'd never seen again. And anybody that she talked to more than once seemed to take their time before going into a room.
About the giant room. One with a stone.
The one with the thing we couldn't see moving.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have mentioned to her about that and the sound we heard. And
So she mentions, she recalls Marcus having mentioned something about a ship being in a grand room, but didn't mention much else about it.
maybe that's where the ship is.
Way out.
Do I?
In general. I'm just saying it in general.
Well, we haven't seen any doorways. So I think going into the small room at this point is probably the safest place to look into, but I don't really want to start staying the night here.
Speaking of that, what time is it? Do we have any rough idea what time it is?
In game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what time it was
It
when
was
It was
that
like
happened.
late
it was
morning.
like yeah,
It
early
was like late
afternoon,
morning.
something like that, because we were supposed to be going to multiple other places after
Right.
Rasmus's house.
Yeah, so it's not long after that. So if you had to guess, somewhere between 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
We could take that lead big room. It is the odd one out.
Yeah, Scodrick, do you want to soak in the tub quickly, regain the small bit of hit points, small bit of vitality you've lost?
I kind of, and I just like dip my hands in and just wash them. I mean, it's only
Sure.
2 hit points. Yeah.
Will that work, Lantris?
Says, well, Generally, I prefer my visitors to be naked and completely submerged. She says, I like a healthy, and she starts to say meal, but then cuts herself off.
Hmm.
And she says, I can't guarantee that just dipping the hands in will heal your wounds.
I look at Lantris and ask, "So what are you exactly?"
And she's like, oh, well,
We're friends
when
here, right?
when you first come to me, I'm a lot of fun. She's like, but how do you think I've survived so long?
So you devour?
Yes, quite wholly, isn't it?
Understandably.
Are there any like notebooks or books anywhere in this room? Like journals?
Um, so you take a look around, and you do see that over on one of the tables that she has in here next to the bed, that there is like this little leather bound bit of parchment, like stacked parchment, bound
Is
in or
it
wrapped in leather of some sort.
So
is it
while you're looking at that, I'm gonna go, Lantris. So, being that we're friends as we are, I don't suppose there's something you would give a friend to help them while they're down here. It might be a while before I come back to see you.
She says, "Well, I only have my bath to offer."
Unfortunately, I don't think I can take that with me now, can I?
No,
you
I
said
don't
the
believe so.
said the bath is by the bed?
Yeah, it's over in the right hand corner. So the bed's like in the center of the room, and in the right hand corner, there's like some raised stone that kind of forms a wall that has some steps up to it. It's pretty nice.
Okay.
And it's
So
got
is
like this
it
blue, this really nice blue colored water that is slightly illuminated.
so is the journal between the bed and the bath?
Uh, Journal's on the other side of the bed.
Do I see Skodrick eyeballing or heading towards it?
For the 21 perception, yeah.
Okay. So I'd like to kind of turn her, walk up to her and gently turn her away and just ask her, "So, tell me your story. I'm
All right.
sure you obviously weren't always caught here."
As he's doing that, I'm gonna go dip my hands in the water and then just walk back around like the nonchalant, grab the notebook.
um, so as you're doing that,
Oh,
she's definitely watching you.
oh, okay.
So she like looks over her shoulder and sees you walk over to the bath, and then looks back at you, Skodrick or Ricard, and you ask her that, and she looks back at you, Skodrick, and she says, "It's better if you put your whole self in." And then Ricard, she turns back to you, and she she begins to go into detail a little bit, but just as she starts to go into that detail, Lana starts sending you your 9-minute mark.
And so as she's talking,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to um, telepathically tell Lana to alert Roland and Skodrick to leave,
Okay.
and slowly start walking with her towards the doorway.
Okay.
As they're walking back, I'm gonna snatch the notebook.
Okay. Make a stealth roll.
Do I see him doing this? Do I know he's
You can make a perception check.
all right? Because if so, I'm going to try to assist him.
So you
Or
had
would
not
that be
walked into
sleight
the
of
room
hand?
with her.
Probably sleight of
Yeah,
hand.
you can do a sleight of
Can both
hand. Well,
skill checks.
stealth to walk over, sleight of hand to get it into
Okay.
your pouch.
Okay.
So you guys begin to make your way towards the door. And you do note that her demeanor is beginning to change ever so slightly um, as you guys make your way to the door and actually make it out the door. So, Roland, you definitely see him slide that
Okay, so
into his pouch or whatever.
try to assist with the stealth.
Um,
Are we to the door? Is Skodrick in front of me?
yeah,
So I'm trying.
you guys can make your way.
So as we get to the door,
Uh-huh.
I'll make sure I'm fully facing her and back
Uh-huh.
up to the doorway,
Sure.
and I'll say to her, "I promise you, if ill befalls us, and I'm not able to get out of here, I will come back to see you, and I'm sure we will have a grand time." And I step backwards through the doorway
Okay.
and pull the door shut.
Okay. All right. Um, After just a few moments of the wall sliding and everything, very faintly, you can hear an incredibly high scream.
All
Hmm.
right, guys.
I just look at Skodrick and go, "If we don't find our way out of here, I'm going to come back and kill her."
Yeah. I think we have a choice on that one.
I'm sure she's a much more grand way to die than some of the other ways in here, but nonetheless.
Oh, let's see if she knows a way out. I put the journal on the chest.
Sure. Okay. So this is a pretty thickly written in. It has quite a number of pages. In fact, most of the pages in it are full of text. Um, so this is going to be something that it's going to take a while to comb through. Most of it talks about her, like her boredom. Like it starts off with her boredom, and her boredom degrades into a desire and then into a desperate hunger. And it evolves into this um, manipulative, uh, and then she talks of the first visitors that come. And she talks of the first people that came to see her, and she talks about immediately like eating them right off the bat, and then wishing she hadn't. Excuse me,
Bless you.
because of the company that they would have.
Provided. Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, so how much time do you want to spend digging through?
I would start skipping towards probably the end just to skim it. Like the most recent.
Gotcha. So as you flip to the most recent, there is some fresh uh, ink that's just been added to the parchment that's in there, and the ink says, uh, "Finally got new visitors today." It says, "Hopefully, I'll have some food again, but first maybe a little fun." And then she goes into the description, and as you're reading the description, you see that it essentially matches Ricard.
Hmm. Running to one side.
So then or as you flip back a couple of pages, the few pages before that just talk about like how desperate she's becoming for food, how she tried eating a couple of insects that managed to get into her room. So make an investigation check to see if you can find something that alludes to.
I was gonna say, could I also
Yeah, if you want.
look with him?
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
I would definitely be showing him because we're
So-
all trying to get out of here.
Yeah.
Sure.
So 22 investigation check for me.
So the only other things that you kind of get from that or whatever is there's a couple of mentions of Marcus, and some about the frustration that the insects have caused because he figured that that would be the only way out potentially, uh, but unfortunately was not able to get through there. And then some talks about trying to repair this ship with just what is there, um, and then talks about taking the materials that are there and that are damaged and potentially reducing the size so as to be able to utilize the materials that are there to make something that's functional. And then it talks about you read one or you find one passage in the book that talks about how Marcus came into her room in a state of panic and talked about how he had been working on the ship some, and there seemed to be the crew of the ship seemed to come back to life or something, uh, and so talks of uh, skeletons that now roam where the ship is. But that's all you get.
Yeah, I have an idea for the bug room.
Okay.
Y'all just stay near me.
Okay.
So we're actually going to the bug room.
I mean,
Marcus
Marcus.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just making sure that
Marcus
we're-
seemed to have been here for a long time, and for once, what did they mention in there? Why she didn't eat Marcus? DM.
It was true love.
Um, so you actually don't find anything that specifies that she didn't eat Marcus.
Well, it seemed like he came to her several times. Is that right? Did I get
Yes.
that right?
So you do note that. But eventually he just kind of like disappears from the journal.
So she probably ate him eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely get that assumption.
But she didn't eat him for a little while.
Right.
Very sweet of her. Very sweet.
Mhm. So, like I said, we're definitely going into the bug room. So I'm hearing.
I hit the
Wow.
cog.
Yeah,
How many
sure.
times we need to.
Okay.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
Question, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to pause here?
Uh.
I
It being
mean,
1 a.m.
Okay. So, I.
Oh,
So, I know we had an issue with the party being split the last time this happened. So, not to spoil anything, do you see any way we're gonna finish this in the next like 30 to 45 minutes?
depends on you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
holy shit. Okay.
it's-
I mean,
I think
'cause
I
I
got
would be
one more
willing to
room
do
in
it.
me.
Depends on you guys and the roll of the dice, honestly.
Just so we wouldn't have to, delay anything next session, I'd be willing to just
I mean,
power through it.
I can
But
put content in there to skip you guys forward if you want. I just hate doing it.
No.
I think I got one more.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
all
give it
right.
15 minutes and see where we're at.
Okay. You guys
I
haven't
like we're
left.
in thralls of useless banter. Then yeah.
Okay. So you move back over to the bug room. And now that you're looking at it, you have the doorway open. Now there seems to be some kind of magical resistance or something that keeps the bugs from coming out of the room. So when you open the doorway or whatever, you definitely take note that the bugs are staying in the room that they're in. They're not trying to come out to attack you for whatever reason, whether it's a magical force, barrier, field, whatever. Okay.
What kind of bugs are they?
It's hard to tell. There are so many of them. Like the floors and walls that you can see from here are like seemingly just absolutely covered.
This is like Temple of
But
Doom.
y'all can make a, I guess, an investigation check with disadvantage if you so desire to.
Sure. All right.
16
that
or
information?
3.
Well, I was gonna say, can we just cancel the disadvantage if we just
I got
work
a
together?
12.
I don't know. There's no way we can assist, but
Just do it. Go for it.
okay, here we go.
I got a 12. That's not too bad for disadvantage.
Hey,
You got a 16.
Oh, look at that. Okay, miracles
That's
happen
not
every
bad.
day.
So there definitely seems to be a conglomeration of them. The most important thing that you get from it, though, is that there are swarms of them.
I look to Ricard. It's like, you seen signs? I'm like
You're
Mel
asking if
Gibson.
it's, you
Swing
see.
away.
Okay, wait. You're asking
Swing
him
away.
in game if you've seen a movie.
No. Okay.
Okay.
I'm pretty much telling him, do what you do.
So I'm
Oh,
gonna start
okay.
shooting firebolt at the swarms I see. Is that cool, DM?
Yes, let me see.
Got it. Initiative time. Oh Jesus.
Well, I'll let you finish what you're doing there. Check something.
Water bottle at him.
I'm gonna look at both Roland and Skodrick. I'm gonna say, look, during this whole ordeal, stay very close to each other.
Yes.
If the worst happens, I have one Hail Mary we can throw. But if you're not right with me, I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay?
Hmm.
My hands are going to dry out. Go ahead. So you're throwing fire bolts.
Well, do I see the swarms?
That's
Yes.
an attack. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Uh,
I would need to make an attack to hit.
yeah. I was trying to remember. I don't know if swarms have if you have disadvantage on a ranged attack for swarm. Um, but I don't see anything here that says so.
I got a 27 to hit. Do I hit?
That's definitely gonna hit.
7 damage.
Okay.
Does it kill the swarm? I would imagine not.
No.
Does it drive the swarm back at all?
So as you're shooting, you do note that the area that you were shooting into, they spread for a bit.
Okay.
And then after a time, they begin to close in on that spot again.
All right. So I say, all right. So I have small shots I can take at them. Um, I give. Let's see. I have 2 more rock-like bulbs.
Oh
I'm
God.
going to
Just stick
give one of
close
those
to
to
me.
Roland.
Okay.
Do you want to have this to throw out there?
No,
Uh,
I want you guys to pay attention to everything. Stick close to me.
Well, I
We'll
was
make it
trying to
through
hand
this.
it to Roland.
yeah, I'll take one. Sure.
Okay, I give one to Roland.
It's the fake rock, right?
It's the rock-like bulb. Yeah, the same one that I've thrown several times. So I've got one left.
Towards the doorway.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians at level
Okay. Jeez. All right.
4d8,
And how
Yeah.
long does that last?
up to 10 minutes.
Okay,
All right.
so we're gonna stay close to each other and try and walk through it.
Yep.
All
Ooh.
right.
All right.
So I'm gonna pull out my rapier in my right hand, draw it from its sheath. On my left side, that's the one you blessed. Is that still active or is that gone?
All day until you long rest.
Okay. And it gives me what?
+1 attack
Attack
and
and damage on every attack or just one?
every attack
Okay, amazing.
with the left one.
Yeah, with that one. Listen, drew from my left side into my main hand. Left hand free to shoot firebolt.
Okay. So this is what I would have you guys do. Roll a collective initiative. So all three of you roll initiative, and I'm going to take the average of y'all's rolls.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
And
not
I'm
too
going to
bad. Oh,
roll.
fuck. Holy
8
shit.
point, 8.1 or 8.1.
Right.
Shit.
Jeez. And then I'm going to
Alright.
roll initiative for the bugs.
Oh, fuck.
Yep.
Okay. So essentially, you're outside the room, and you cast this, and then move into the room. Actually, I could do this. Just like this. Sorry, I don't have a map for this. Make it as I go.
I'm thinking of this like a, I guess a smaller version of Pitch Black.
Yeah, so we would basically hold. You're going to let us just all act on the same action so we can
Right.
all stay together? Okay, cool.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna go here. So there are tons. There are tons of these, right? So they won't attack you. So essentially, they forfeit their first turn. So then on y'all's turn, y'all move into the space. And I imagine, are y'all are just going straight across?
Mm. Mm-hmm. I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of at this point, I'm like, my point of view is letting Skodrick lead because he's the source of our protection right this minute. So
Okay. So you guys just kind of all move together. Are you gonna go full 30 feet?
Yeah, because I have until I see something. If I see anything other than a storm.
Gotcha. Okay, and they're just gonna stay on either side of you.
Mhm.
Um, So as you guys move through, you're moving through the space or whatever. So interesting. Should have looked up that.
Scondrick, did you pick up the journal off the chest?
I did not state it.
So as we go to walk out of the room,
Out of the small room?
yeah,
Okay.
could I have grabbed that journal if you did not pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay, in my bag of holding.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are moving across. So this is the only thing. Like I'm thinking about attack of opportunity. And if you guys move into and out of a space, but the spirit guardians could deal enough damage because it's like the first time that they share a space is when they're dealt damage. So if you move into their space on your turn, it still deals damage to them because it's the first time that they're within range, and then every time after that that they start their turn in that range.
But if we leave their
and I think their
range, they
movement
get an attack
is-
of opportunity if we haven't killed them.
Right, if they haven't died yet.
Yeah.
So this is what I would say, Skodrick, if you so desire to, for each quote unquote round, I'll have you roll two rolls of damage. The roll of damage that you're making for when you're moving into their space, and then the roll of damage that you're making for them when it hits their turn.
Okay.
So for every 30 feet, make two damage rolls.
Roll again? Or roll them now?
Yeah, go ahead.
13 on the first. Man, these are low. $14.
Okay. So your guardians are there. So you begin to move into the space, and as you do, you hear little crunching like pops. As you're walking through, you're essentially walking across the splatter of bug carcass. It's like somebody took a steamroller over a roach motel. And so the bugs kind of move out or whatever, but then kind of move back in towards you. But they are making no headway this round.
Can I also launch a firebolt?
Yeah,
I would probably
Yeah.
be attacking.
sure. Yeah, you guys can make attacks as well.
I can also do a melee attack as my bonus action
Okay.
with because of war magic. Are there any close enough for me to hit like that, or not really?
So it's a 15-foot cube centered on Skodrick. So yeah, that would put you guys within melee range.
So I got 12 to hit with firebolt.
Okay.
Does that hit anything?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. 11 damage.
Okay.
And then I'll roll one attack with the rapier. That's a 19 to hit.
It hits.
And,
Okay.
So 10 points piercing damage.
Okay.
Would have been a 20, I'm sorry, to hit and 11 piercing because of the +1
Okay.
from Scondrick.
Cool. And Roland, the attack you want to make?
Okay. Let's go to short sword attacks. Okay. Sorry. So take away 5 from that first one. So 100 more. I guess technically I could have. No, I couldn't because I did the bonus action. So yeah. So remove the 5 off of that, so it would have been 5 and then 14 total.
Okay. Okay. So Skadrick, go ahead and make 2 more rolls. So far, you guys are okay. I'll do
15 and a 14. And can I roll perception? See anything?
Yeah.
Wait, can't you also? So Spirit Guardians is it's concentration, right? Okay, but I mean, you can still cast cantrips and stuff, right?
Can I?
I mean, yeah, it's
No,
not like.
Spirit Guardian, as long as it's not concentration,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, I'll do that.
You still cast cantrips.
Or something that's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Holy crap! The floor is disappearing.
Yeah.
Floor is lava.
Sorry, I'm having to move you guys over to make room.
Oh, there's more room. Oh no. There's more.
Actually, bonus
And
action.
there's even more room.
Bonus action, cast spirit.
Question: if
Not a
casting Green Flame Blade is a cantrip,
Oh shit!
takes a minute. I'm trying to remember how we ruled this works.
Essentially,
So I
you
still get a
can't cast as an action. We don't.
what now?
We decided that we were going to play that one rules that's written.
And
So,
what rules is written are? I'm trying to remember.
It requires a spell casting action in order to cast Green Flame Blade.
Okay, so yeah.
The attack is a direct result of that casting.
Got you. So that being said, I could with war, using war magic. It is a cantrip, so I can cast it as an action, get a melee attack and the damage from Green Flame Blade, and then still get a weapon attack as a bonus because of war magic. Okay, cool. Just making sure I understand my mechanics right because I haven't used it that way yet.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, cool. So that might be what I do from now because I get weapon damage plus Green Flame Blade damage plus jump to anything that's within 5 feet of it and
Yeah,
damage plus another melee attack damage. Cool.
So let's see.
Spirit weapon.
Okay. Sure.
So Spirit Guardians just stay centered on you. Am I remembering that right? Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are managing to very slowly make your way through the swarms with no harm done so far. So what we'll do is make one more set of rolls, Skadrick, and then if you guys want to make attacks as well, just to kind of help out, and make one more set of attacks, and we'll just see what those end up as.
Let Skadrick do his.
Dying.
Eight.
Okay.
Roland, you're doing your second attack too. You get 2?
Hey guys, give me just a second. I'm gonna check something out real quick.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Was that a 1 on a sneak attack?
I can
No,
close.
that's
Stop.
my spirit guard.
Okay.
16 on the first hit. Off.
Hey, I rolled an 8 on 4d8.
Damn.
So 20,
Jeez. That's crazy, man.
22 total.
Excuse me. 22 total? Okay, I'm gonna do. Here comes Greed Flame Blade. Y'all ready? 15. 15 hit DM.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, there's green flame blade damage to the first target is 11.
Okay.
And the second target gets 1d8. Is there any more swarm within 5 feet of that swarm?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is.
Let me make sure. Make sure I'm getting this right.
How are the numbers looking for the bugs that we can see?
There's still a lot.
Okay. Okay, plus spellcasting ability. So that'd be +3. So where'd it go? So 1d8 plus 3 to the second swarm. So 8 points of damage
Okay.
to the second swarm.
Okay.
11 points of damage to the first swarm. And then we're going to do our bonus action is another rapier hit to the first swarm. That's an 11. Does that hit?
That does not.
Cheat. That's okay.
Guys, I would love to see this in a movie.
That's what I'm thinking, dude. Like, this is. Have you seen Pitch Black?
No.
How they're all huddled together around the light, making their way through.
It didn't end well.
Yeah, okay, but.
Well, how does it end?
Who's Riddick in this?
Oh, wait, yeah, I've seen that.
It's a good question. Who would Riddick be? Kind of seemed like Riddick would be Skadrick, is what it kind of seems like.
Yeah, it seems like there was gonna be 2 people leaving the planet. He doesn't have at the end. That's the problem. Yeah, I know. I can't see shit.
So you guys move one more set of 30 feet.
Roland, maybe me and you are Riddick.
As you're moving that last set of 30 feet or whatever, there you see the second wall. The opposite side of the room. So essentially, after traveling 90 feet over over 3 rounds, managing to maintain, managing to keep any of the swarms from getting to you or whatever, you make it to the other side of the room. And when you get there, you see a large staircase that makes its way up and to the left. As you're looking through and your light begins to shine into this stairwell, it seems that none of the swarms of bugs are traveling into the stairwell either.
Good or bad, but we gotta go.
Yeah, we've committed to it now. Stay close.
Thank goodness. Sorry, I'm just happy about my air blowing. I was about to die. Okay.
Oh, the heat. You finally turned the heat off?
Yeah, I couldn't handle it anymore. I have to apologize to my wife later, but she'll get over it. I didn't say that on stream.
Yeah, beep.
Yeah, right.
Delete.
3 hours, 31 minutes in. We gotta edit.
Cool.
Clip that.
Right. Guys, I am thinking that we should probably wrap it up here.
Okay.
It's like an hour and a half. And there's still a little bit more to go.
Okay.
So we could potentially end up playing for another hour.
I'm fine with another Tuesday session next week.
They gotta close.
I'm fine with
mean,
the
well,
Monday session.
I was gonna say what's Friday? Yeah, Friday's Black Friday. Is anybody working Black Friday? What's y'all's plans for
Yeah.
Black Friday?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
working until. I mean, we closing on Friday. We're just doing.
I'm opening.
Yeah,
We're setting up everything.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys are free on Black Friday, I can play Black Friday.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably do most of my shopping online. I think all the stuff goes on sale like Wednesday.
I am definitely
25th.
checking out Roll20, and if they have a big sale, I'm getting everything that I don't have.
Yeah, I've got to get Tasha's Cauldron of Everything on Fantasy Grounds. So
Oh,
They
nice.
make it.
that has some very cool. I like that. I seriously, I want that. I want tattoo. Need tattoos.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
We'll find out next time if we make it out of this dungeon.
Yeah, right. Sorry, guys. It was supposed to
That's
go quicker than a single
it's okay.
session, but
I was not. There's certain things my character wants for dungeon delving, and he ain't got them. Yeah, he needs like a small collection of very simple wands, right? I like
Very
wands of fireball, but
Collection.
like all the stuff he lost, like wand of detect magic and all that, all that simple stuff, like a wand of mending.
I mean, technically, you could get a bunch of tattoos that
Technically, I could.
don't
Yes.
require attunement, but at the same time, I mean, they go away after their use. So
Oh, they don't go away after a use, do they? Hold on.
the ones I'm talking about are like the spell rot ones. I'm pretty sure after you use
Oh,
them,
yeah,
it
yeah.
goes away, but they don't require attunement. That's the only
Going
thing.
in the stream here. Call next time,
thanks for joining us.
guys.
Later, y'all.
Love you guys.
Goodbye.
I don't know if